Indianapolis, moments away from the opening kick. Colts and the Redskins down to the field, and Tony Siragusa. Goose.
Thanks, Kenny. Today, one of the questions that needs to be answered for me is, how does this Colts team cope with the loss of Ahmad Bradshaw, who is out for the year with a broken leg? Everyone talks about, Andrew Luck when they talk about this Colts offense, but Ahmad Bradshaw is a huge key to their success, not just in the running game, but also in his veteran knowledge and that pass protection, which is irreplaceable to me. This Colts team, listen, they have a huge challenge today going against a defensive coordinator in Jim Haslett, who is not only unpredictable, but is known to bring the heat. We'll see how they get done today.
All right, Goose, a look at Jay Gruden in his first season as Redskins head coach. His club has lost 3 in a row. Chuck Pagano's Colts, first place in the AFC South at 7-4. Colts won the toss, elect to receive. Kai Forbath gets things started. Josh Cribbs, second game as a Colt, takes it out from about 7 yards deep. 8 career kickoff return touchdowns, tied for the most in NFL history. Cribbs takes it out to the 24, brought down by Darrell Young, 32 yards on the return. So Andrew Luck leads the Colts offense onto the field. He leads the NFL in passing yards and attempts. He's third in completions and touchdowns.
Yeah, he's gotten better and better each season, each week statistically throughout his career here in the NFL, but there's a couple of intangibles that we'll let you in on during the course of the game. His pocket presence is tremendous. He understands how to get rid of the ball, getting outside the perimeter of that pocket, and he's as tough as they come at the quarterback spot.
Trent Richardson in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line for the Indianapolis Colts. On the fake to Richardson, Luck sack, loses the football, and the Redskins, Jason Hatcher has recovered.
And this is Ryan Kerrigan just beating the tackle man-to-man, and very similar to how the game started out last week against Jacksonville. They really struggled in the first half with pass protection versus the edge rusher. Ryan Kerrigan coming off that edge, gets the sack and the forced fumble.
Yeah, Andrew Luck's got to get used to it. He's not going to have the protection with Ahmad Bradshaw out of that lineup. He's going to have to get rid of the ball a lot earlier. We saw right there. That pressure's coming from Jim Haslett.
Career high 9.5 sacks for Kerrigan, who returns to his home state of Indiana. He played at Purdue. Hatcher the recovery. So Luck, who was sacked 4 times in the first quarter last week by the Jaguars, turns it over on the first play from scrimmage. And now Colt McCoy and the Redskins go to work from the Colts 15. The toss to Alfred Morris, and Morris takes it down to the 11 for a gain of 4. So Colt McCoy makes his second start of the season. In his initial start against Dallas, back in his home state of Texas, 25 of 30 for 299 yards in the overtime win.
I mean, we sat down with him yesterday. We went back to that Dallas game, but he talked about being more proud of the job he did filling in against Tennessee, coming off the bench, hasn't played in 2 years, steps in and is able to bring the Redskins back for a victory in that game.
Came on in relief of Kirk Cousins in the game against Tennessee. Second down and 6 from the 11-yard line as McCoy lost one up. Incomplete. Darrell Young, the fullback, the intended receiver, so it will be 3rd down and 6 for Washington.
Now right there, Colt McCoy expecting Darrell Young to turn that flat up on the outside, called a wheeled route. You get to the outside, you press to the sidelines, and you turn it up. Big play for the Colts defense right here. Opening play, turnover, and being able to hold your opponent to a field goal attempt would be huge for them to start this game.
3 receivers to the left. The tight end, Jordan Reed, split out wide to the right. Roy Halou Jr. in the backfield. On 3rd down and 6, the slant to Reed. And Reed is stopped shy of a 1st down. Jarrell Freeman makes the tackle, so the Redskins will send out the field goal unit.
Jordan Reed back in the lineup this afternoon, and he's going to create matchup problems through the course of the day. That tight end position, being able to get to the outside, he has the ability to run routes like a wide receiver and will challenge Indianapolis with their coverage. Good job by Jarrell Freeman right there on the tackle.
Yeah, he needs some of his other players to go and start swarming to the ball a little bit. One thing that they've been lacking is in the tackling on that defense.
25-yard attempt from the right hash. Kai Forbath gives the Redskins A 3-0 lead set up by the turnover on the first play from scrimmage. The sack of Andrew Luck by Ryan Kerrigan. 3-0 Washington. 3-0 Redskins following the Andrew Luck fumble on the Kerrigan sack. 25-yard field goal. And now Forbath will kick off for the second time in the first 2 minutes of this game. Cribbs takes it out once again. Cribbs up the middle, down to the 28-yard line. So another opportunity for Andrew Luck and the #1 ranked offense in the NFL.
And the guys up front, obviously, Tony talked about protection. We saw it on the opening play. A young group, as you can see right there, with 2 rookie starters. T.Y. Hilton having an outstanding season. He's going to be your deep threat down the field. You've got the always reliable Reggie Wayne there as well.
Hilton over 1,000 yards for the season over the first 11 games. Richardson in the backfield, 1st and 10, 27-yard line. And this is Trent Richardson. Kerrigan, who had the sack earlier, brings him down, gain of 1.
And that was one of the concerns coming into the game, was going to be your edge rushers. Ryan Kerrigan, who had that sack. Trent Murphy, we saw last week against Jacksonville. Ryan Davis, Chris Clemens wreaking havoc in the backfield for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've got to get those edge rushers contained this afternoon.
On 2nd and 9, Luck throws. Pass intended for the tight end, Kobe Fleener, and there is a flag. Chase Minifield defending just up from the Redskins practice squad.
Pass interference defense, number 20. Automatic first down, spot of the foul.
Oh, nice tackle right there, Dow.
To make the short tackle, get there before the ball arrives.
That's true, that's true. Andrew Luck once again got hit on that play, brought some pressure right up in his face, up the middle.
Colts gain 10 yards on the penalty. 1st and 10 from the 38. Fleener shifting. 3 receiver set. The handoff to Richardson. He was the 3rd pick in the draft back in 2012 behind Luck and Robert Griffin III. The Browns with the 3rd overall pick choosing Richardson, and they would trade him to the Colts the next year.
Here are those first 3 picks from that draft class. All with us this afternoon here today.
Redskins trading up with the Rams for the 2nd overall pick. Now 2nd down and 9. Colts empty the backfield on 2nd down. And Luck throws over the middle, deflected, picked off by Ryan Clark. The 2nd Indianapolis turnover early in this game. So Clark comes up with only the 5th Redskin interception of the season, 16th of his career.
Nice job by Keenan Robinson on that play. He's going to be right here guarding Kobe Fleener. He's going to come on the blitz, but he's also got him in protection if he releases, so he gets back. Andrew Luck wanted to go to Kobe Fleener initially, made him pull it back down, and then into the middle of the field for the interception.
So 2 Indianapolis turnovers early. Now McCoy off the play fake. Down he goes at midfield. Jarrell Freeman with the sack.
And it's not just what you do as a running back in the NFL. You've got to be good in pass protection, and you've got to be able to come up here, get this block for your quarterback. Alfred Morris, it's on the loop. You got to secure that. You're way too far inside, and you allow Jarrell Freeman an easy trip around that corner.
Yeah, it's the same thing with backs as it is for linemen. You want to keep your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. And you saw Alfred Morris right there turn and gave that soft edge.
Loss of 5, now 2nd down and 15. McCoy sets up the screen, it's Morris. And he gains 1 to the Colts 49. So the Redskins now in a 3rd and long situation, and they have only converted once all season on 3rd and 10 or more yards.
Just one of the areas that they have really struggled. Jay Gruden, just unbelievable at the statistics. You can see him right there, 0 for their last 34.
Their only conversion back in week 2 against the Jaguars. Redskins must get to the 35 for a first down. And they will not. Deshaun Jackson makes the catch at the 42-yard line. And the Redskins will punt it away.
Deshaun Jackson coming out of the middle there.
Yeah, I don't ever understand that when they run a route that's not even close to the first down marker. Why wouldn't they go and run something that would go and at least try to get you a first down?
Well, or even an opportunity maybe for a field goal attempt, Tony.
Yeah,
and you saw the deeper routes that were going. If the ball is thrown on time and thrown into a more catchable location for Deshaun Jackson, we all know how explosive he is after the catch, and it's one of the things that Colt McCoy talked about is making sure he relies on the guys around him to make plays.
Officials got together, ruled it an incompletion, so they moved the ball back 7 yards. And now Tress Way with an end-over-end kick. Fair catch called for at the 17-yard line by Cribbs. So the Colts defense holds following the interception. Third possession already for the Colts. We have not yet played 5 minutes. Over the first 8 plays of the game, a combined 2 sacks, an interception, and a fumble. Colts have committed 2 turnovers. Indianapolis not only without Ahmad Bradshaw, but tight end Dwayne Allen, right guard Hugh Thornton out today. Colts have not scored a first quarter touchdown over the last 5 games. First carry for Daniel Boom Heron. And you hear the chants of boom from the crowd here in Indianapolis.
Well, he can give you a spark. I mean, there's a number of running backs throughout the NFL. You know, right away, Marshawn Lynch comes to mind. Eddie Lacy for the Green Bay Packers. They've got a running style, and really, you know, Daniel Boom Heron, he's got that style. You watched him last week against Jacksonville, and he's with the ball in his hands, either as a runner or after the catch as a receiver. Very physical.
He was drafted by the Bengals when Jay Gruden was the offensive coordinator in Cincinnati, so Gruden knows Boom Heron well. Gained 4 on first down. Now 2nd and 6. Luck to the outside. And the catch is made for a first down by T.Y. Hilton. A gain of 8. Time for a game break to Kurt Menefee. Kurt?
Well, unlike you guys have no option to close the roof in Minnesota, that's okay for the Vikings because they score on their first possession against Carolina. Kyle Rudolph, 4-yard touchdown. They're up 7-0. Wind chill factor 7 below 0 at the start of that one, Kenny Moose and Goose.
Wow, we were in Minneapolis last week. It was 48 degrees at kickoff.
Life is all about timing.
New set of downs for the Colts. As Luck throws, it is Hilton again. Another Indianapolis first down out to the 45-yard line as Hilton picks up 15.
And this is a little bit of that unflappable part of the personality of Andrew Luck. The start of the game for him couldn't have gone much worse. Sack, fumble, interception early on. And he just lines right back up on the next series and keeps on playing.
Yeah, you can't ruffle his feathers.
Movement prior to the snap. John Pario, referee.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 99. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's on Jarvis Jenkins. We spoke to Raheem Morris, the Redskins defensive backs coach, yesterday, and he told us Andrew Luck has the best hard count in the league.
Yeah, and that's saying something.
Yeah,
we know the guys around there.
I got to talk to him before the game also. How about he has 11 cadences for this game? 7 of them are live and 4 dummy cadences, so he can go and get as much information before the snap as possible. But I couldn't believe that.
How many would a quarterback usually have, Goose?
Yeah, 2. Back when we played, I mean, Darryl will tell you, I mean, there wasn't many, back in the day.
Here is Herron for a first down into Redskins territory.
And there's that style. I mean, it kind of ignites the crowd. You know, the team gets fired up, and there's a couple guys around the league, and just watching Boom Heron last week against Jacksonville, he's one of those guys that's starting to get that reputation. A lot of respect from the Redskin defenders.
And it helps that pass rush also with the play action. Now they got to start respecting the run.
Gain of 9 for Herron. Midway through the first quarter, Colts turned the ball over twice. Redskins only able to score 3 points off the 2 Indianapolis miscues. From the 42, it is Herron, wants to cut back inside. And then he is brought down from behind by the rookie out of Stanford, Trent Murphy. No gain on the play.
And it's just going to help complement this offense. You mentioned, Kenny, that they're the #1 offense in the NFL by yards. A lot of that generated in their passing attack. If they can strike some balance, just something that keeps defenses honest, and whether it's Trent Richardson, Daniel Boom-Herron, they find that element by the end of the season heading into the playoffs. This is going to be a tough offense to defend.
Colts average 434 yards per game. They are 4th in the league in scoring at 30 points per game. Luck steps up under pressure. He throws. There is a flag as the catch is made at the 30-yard line by Reggie Wayne.
I can't tell you, the coordination and protection between the offensive line, running backs, and tight end was outstanding on that snap. That was seven guys from the Redskin defense that were coming on the pressure to Andrew Luck.
Illegal use of hands, hands to the face. Defense, number 39. Penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down, number 62, as reported eligible.
I want you to watch everybody coming for the Redskins on this blitz, and they are all picked up. That is tremendous coordination because they're coming from different angles. They're looping, getting into different lanes. Now you got Reggie Wayne working down the field for the reception. That's outstanding execution by the Colts.
Colin Holmes, 62, in as an extra blocker for Indianapolis. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Play action. There is a flag. Luck throws. Wide open. Kobe Fleener. Touchdown.
You can't lose Kobe Fleener. He's one of the guys that you've been practicing against all week. I'm guaranteeing you there was a number 80 jersey at the Redskin practice.
Hands to the face. Defense, number 26. Penalties declined. Result of the play, touchdown.
When the Redskins did their scout team, I'm sure somebody was wearing number 80 as a jersey right here. Watch him on this release. You just get turned loose. Everybody goes with T.Y. Hilton to the middle of the field.
Does a nice job of finding that pylon also on a little spin move.
5th touchdown of the season for Fleener. Colts score a touchdown in the first quarter for the first time since week 6. And for Andrew Luck, he reaches 30 touchdown passes this season for the first time in his career. Adam Vinatieri for the extra point. So after turning the ball over on each of their first 2 possessions, Colts come back. Luck to Fleener, 7-3. We take you back to the 2012 draft after Robert Griffin III won the Heisman Trophy. Andrew Luck finished 2nd, and then they were the 1st and 2nd picks in the draft. Luck going 1st overall to Indianapolis, and then Griffin 2nd to Washington. But today it is Colt McCoy making his 2nd start of the season. Redskins will start at their 20.
We talked about at the top not being able to find that magic from his rookie year. So go back to 2012. There's the numbers from the first 4 games. Here in 2014, 4 complete games started and finished by Robert Griffin III, and you can see the disparity in the numbers. And the one that's really surprising to me are the sacks. And you know, with the athletic ability that he has, you wouldn't expect to see that sack number as high. So there's just something missing this year. You watch it on film, there's an indecisiveness in the pocket leading to those sacks. You saw the production that's not there, that's missing from 2012.
The toss to Alfred Morris on 1st down, and he picks up a 1st down and more. Morris out to the 41-yard line as he gains 21 on 1st down.
And here's somebody who, you know, had a tremendous performance last week against San Francisco. You run for 120 plus against that Niner front, injuries or not. That's a nice day at the office. And Alfred Morris with a big run right there. Definitely a guy you can lean on as you're working through these growing pains at your quarterback position.
First and 10 from the 41-yard line. Movement prior to the snap.
False start. Offense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's on the left tackle, Trent Williams, who's gone to the last 2 Pro Bowls.
You know, a big miss last week against San Francisco. You didn't have Trent Williams, you didn't have Jordan Reed, so there were some people out of the lineup that resulted in that lack of production. But, I mean, when you talk about 77 net passing yards in the NFL, I mean, that is a staggeringly low number.
Third Redskins penalty, they were flagged for another 2, which were declined. First down at 15. McCoy, quick release. And it's caught out of the 40-yard line by the former Colt, returning to Indianapolis for the first time, Pierre Garçon. Greg Toller made the tackle, gain of 4. So Colt McCoy starts the game 3 for 5. It's his 23rd start in the NFL. Started 21 games for Cleveland. He was a 3rd-round pick of the Browns back in 2010. Spent 3 years in Cleveland. Last year backed up Colin Kaepernick in San Francisco. Second down and 11. Three receiver set. McCoy handing it off to Morris. Not much. Darius Butler, the tackle to Los Angeles. Game break. Kurt Menefee.
Well, it's been a long, long time since this has happened. Adam Thielen of the Vikings goes in, blocks, and then scoops up the punt for a 30-yard touchdown. First time the Vikings have blocked a punt for a score since 1986. They're up 14-0. Kenny Moose and Bruce.
Wow, good start for Minnesota.
They went toe-to-toe with the Packers last week.
Lost by 3 to Green Bay at home. Now leading Carolina 14-0. Another 3rd and long for the Redskins. As McCoy throws, and it's off the hands of Andre Roberts.
Now I want to see the end of this to see if Darius Butler gets a hand on this ball coming out of the slot. Andre Roberts, man-to-man coverage, flatten it out a little bit more, give him the better throwing angle. Does he get a hand on it? Yeah, heck of a play by Darius Butler.
Tress Way punting for the 2nd time. He's having a terrific season. Joshua Cribbs moving to his left. And Cribbs is out across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Steve Boharnis brought him down a 49-yard punt, and then 23 on the return, and there is a flag. So we'll check in once again with referee John Parry.
Timeout.
So the Colts back on offense, leading 7-3. Jake Gruden with his 3 quarterbacks. Robert Griffin III is the backup today. Kirk Cousins is inactive. Cousins made 5 starts earlier this season after Griffin suffered the ankle injury. Following the penalty on the return, the Colts start from their 5-yard line. Richardson in the backfield. 2 tight ends set. Reggie Wayne in motion. On first down, this is Richardson. And he loses a couple. With 3 minutes remaining first quarter, Chris Baker made the tackle. Chuck Pagano's Colts turned the ball over on their first 2 possessions and then drove 7 plays, 83 yards.
And we heard it from Jim Haslett. We heard it from Raheem Morris. When you're playing against Andrew Luck, you know, they told their defensive guys, don't come over to the sideline being happy about a hit or a QB hurry. You know, this guy will stand in the pocket. He's unflappable. Even with that start, with the sack fumble and the interception, that 3rd series, he just comes out, goes back to work, takes him right down the field for a touchdown.
Second down and 11. The inside handoff to Richardson. Keenan Robinson, first Redskin, in on the tackle. So the Colts now facing a 3rd down and long.
That front 7 for that Washington team, boy, they are really making a wall up there. They're dominating right now, this Colts offensive line. I mean, there's a hole for about a half a second, then it's filled right there by Robinson.
Yeah, played it well, stayed back deep enough where Jack Buhort could not come off his block, and then by the time he saw Keenan Robinson filling that hole, it was too late.
3rd down and 9. Colts must get to the 15 for a first down. Quick release, and it's broken up. It's Robinson again, number 52, Keenan Robinson for the Redskins on the coverage, so the Colts will punt it away.
This is a team that statistically, if you look at them from a record standpoint, you might think it's going to be one type of a Saturday afternoon. But make no mistake about it, this is a team that until last week was top 10 offensively and defensively, just had some issues with their turnovers. So on a Sunday afternoon, you throw that record right out the window and you get ready to play a tough game against the Redskins.
Pat McAfee punting from his own end zone. Good kick, forcing Andre Roberts back to the 36. And Roberts brings it out to the 47-yard line. 11 on the return, a 58-yard punt by McAfee. Well, it doesn't get any bigger than this. 4 of the nation's top teams face a must-win game to keep their championship hopes alive. The road to the college football playoffs goes through the Pac-12 championship and Big Ten championship Friday and Saturday only on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
All right, Moose, who do you like in that 4-pack? I like Oregon.
They were impressive yesterday against Oregon State. Ohio State, can they win with their 3rd quarterback, their 3rd starting quarterback of the season? Pretty impressive what they've been able to do.
Could be exciting. Terrific starting field position, and the ball comes loose on the toss to Morris. There is a flag. It will be Redskins football, and once again we check in with John Parry. False start. 4th Washington penalty.
Illegal formation, offense, number 71 is not on the line of scrimmage. Penalties decline, result of the play, 2nd down.
One of the things you want to be able to do with your quarterback like Colt McCoy is get him into a rhythm. You've got to get into a rhythm. These penalties, this start-stop, the turnover right there, they haven't been able to establish a rhythm. When you watch them against the Dallas Cowboys, Colt McCoy came out and he got into that rhythm and stayed in it the entire game. Washington's offense has not been able to find that rhythm yet this afternoon.
2nd down and 11. Penalty was declined. Now McCoy pulls it in and is sacked for the 2nd time. Back at the 36-yard line, Arthur Jones.
Arthur Jones coming from the right side. But the Indianapolis Colts just bringing 4 rushers in that situation. If you're getting back to the quarterback, if you're getting home with 4, that's going to be a long day for your offense.
Yeah, Colt McCoy's got to get rid of that ball, though. I think he had ample time to go and look downfield. If it wasn't there, he should have just thrown it away.
Arthur Jones and Jonathan Newsom on the sack. 2nd sack of McCoy. Now 3rd and 20. Gordon Reed, the tight end. Redskins will punt for the 3rd straight possession.
Kenny, you talked about their struggles in these 3rd and long situations, and it seems like each series they're getting to that point.
Time winding down in this 1st quarter as McCoy talks about it with Gruden. The Redskins forcing 2 early turnovers. They took a 3-0 lead, but then luck to Kobe Fleener. 7-3 Colts after 1. We start the 2nd quarter in Indianapolis. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. Tress Wade punting for the 3rd time. Cribbs lets it go. And it rolls into the end zone for a touchback.
A tremendous opportunity for the Redskins to really kind of jump out to a quick start. Sack fumble, first play of the game. They only get 3 out of that. Well done by the Colts defense. And then here, the next possession, an interception by Ryan Clark. They don't get any points off of that takeaway.
Only 1 first down for the Redskins on that 21-yard run by Morris. Only 29 total yards for Washington. Colts start from the 20, leading 7-3. Herron in the backfield, 3 receivers set. On first down, it's Boom Herron. Found a hole and spins out across the 30 for 11 yards and a Colts first down.
That was a nice little play design right there, Darryl. A little short trap right over the middle, pull the guard. Upfield, Boom's going to go and just hit this thing right up in here.
Some tight running lanes right there. Good job by the offensive line of the Colts.
Yeah, the nice thing about that is you don't give the defense time to go and see what's happening. It's hit him fast, and the linebacker all of a sudden.
Now Herron again. Clark knocks him down at the 36, gain of 5.
Boom got the boom lowered on him on that one.
Yeah, he got boomed.
Good balance right there.
Nice cut.
Nice hard cut.
And then Ryan Clark lowering the boom.
Yeah. Not only intercepting passes, but as a tackler in that secondary for the Redskins.
Second down and 5.
190!
Clark moving to his right, throws, and the catch is made by Reggie Wayne. Knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line, gain of 7. So for Reggie Wayne, his second catch today, now 1,058 receptions in his career, 7th all time.
Yeah, and look what he's on the cusp of doing. Look at the 2 guys around you on that, Peyton Manning, Johnny Unitas. Anytime you're lumped in with that,
Pretty good
as
crowd.
a trio is a nice place to be. But Reggie Wayne, just an outstanding career in the NFL. And I thought kind of silly last week, everybody making a big deal about him getting those 2 late receptions to keep that streak alive.
Right, extending his streak as tight end Jack Doyle takes it into Redskin territory. Wayne now with at least 3 catches in 81 consecutive games. He has 2 so far today. So the Colts move across midfield. Luck now with 70 yards in the air, including a 30-yard touchdown pass to Kobe Fleener.
I think more troubling was the 4 yards by the Redskins. And that same pace they were last week.
On second and 2, it's Herron. Herron still going. One man to beat is Clark. And Boom Herron takes it all the way for a Colts touchdown, 49 yards.
One of the things you have to do to a running back is make him change his angle. And the Redskin defense never forced Boom Herron to change his running lane. He's coming right at you this way. Great wraparound by Joe Wrights. And then to have a big run, you've got to have help from your wide receivers on the outside. Just a little nudge right there, T.Y. Hilton on Brandon Merriweather. But he's your run support. He's coming down from the secondary to fill that hole, to make Boom Herron change that running lane. Nice little block by T.Y. Hilton.
First career touchdown, longest career run for Boom Herron. 6th round draft pick by the Bengals, as we mentioned, when Jay Gruden was the coordinator in Cincinnati. Colts signed him off the Bengals practice squad last October. He had a nice game last week against the Jaguars, and now a 49-yard run for his first NFL score. Colts out to a 14-3 lead. First career touchdown for Boom Herron, a 49-yard run. 5 plays, 80 yards.
He's still trying to get some wind on the sideline, guys, it looks like. All right.
Redskins will start from their 20-yard line. Colt McCoy, 4 of 7. 18 yards in the air. Then you take away the yards lost on the 2 sacks. 4 net passing yards for the Redskins.
This is a critical possession right here for the Redskins. And Colt McCoy as the quarterback. I mean, you were given this opportunity because of your performance as a starter against Dallas, coming off the bench against Tennessee. Robert Griffin III unable to spark this offense against Minnesota, Tampa Bay, teams that you probably felt you should be able to beat. San Francisco the following week.
The toss to Morris on first down, and he is swallowed up Jonathan Newsom along with Corey Redding. Loss of 4.
Chris Chester is going to get pushed into the backfield. Number 66 gets pushed all the way back by Corey Redding. And then that play is just blown up from the get-go. And again, we are heading for a 3rd and 10 plus for the Redskin offense again on this series.
Second down and 14. 3 wide receivers set. Off the fake to Morris. Pass a bit high. There is a flag. It was intended for Garcon.
Now, one of the things that everybody talked about was the tight coverage that Indianapolis plays on the outside. Vontae Davis right here working against Pierre Garcon. Watch how tight the coverage is on the release, back inside.
There is no foul in play for pass interference.
Wow.
Sure.
That's pretty. Flag has been picked up.
Well, they picked it up. I don't, at the end of the play, you're definitely seeing Pierre Garcon get turned. Now, was that turn caused by Vontae Davis and his arm on that shoulder to turn him? The referees decided that turn was Pierre Garcon moving his body to try and make that catch.
This will be the 4th 3rd and 10 plus for the Redskins. 0 for 3 today. 0 for their last 37.
One thing Colt McCoy can't do here is hold on to the ball too long. He's got to get rid of it. Take a chance.
Redskins must get to the 30. And McCoy is sacked for the 3rd time. Ball comes loose.
Yeah, the problem, Colt McCoy, Darryl, he makes a nice drop, but he never steps up into the pocket. You're giving those defensive ends such an easy angle to get the pressure on you. He's 8 yards deep right now. You got to bring it back up. You got to give them a false spot back there about 7, 8 yards, and then you got to bring it up to 5 as you're looking downfield. If you stay at 7 or 8, it makes it too easy for those guys to go and get the pressure and swipe at the ball, just like what we saw.
So it's Newsom with his 4th sack of the season. 3 sacks of McCoy today. Flag on the punt as Cribbs takes it into Redskins territory for the Washington 47. One of the issues with RG3 the last 3 weeks, 16 sacks.
Holding. Return team, number 51. 10-yard penalty. 1st and 10. Timeout on the field.
And today McCoy has been sacked 3 times. Colts football, lead by 11.
It takes 11 men. It doesn't take one guy. It was not even close to being good enough to what we expect from that quarterback position. It is a results-oriented league, and if you don't get the results, you're going to be subject to not playing a whole lot longer.
I think that is an example of the frustration that exists right now in the organization. Everybody knows it's not a one-man sport and you need all 11 out there, but you don't voice that in a press conference. You always protect your quarterback regardless of how he played, regardless of what he said. There's fault on both sides right now, and I think what you see is an offense that's disconnected. And they've got to get this fixed soon because Colt McCoy is struggling today. Robert Griffin is your number 2 this afternoon.
Luck and the Colts go to work from the 32-yard line. Catch is made by T.Y. Hilton. Breland on the coverage. Gain of 11. Colts first down.
And it's one of the things that I admire about Andrew Luck when I watch him play. It doesn't matter what's happened previously in the game. It doesn't matter what adversity he faces during the course of the game. He just comes out and plays every play. He's on to the next play, on to the next play.
2 turnovers, first 2 possessions. But Luck and the Colts have come back, and now movement on the left side of the Redskins line from Kerrigan.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Another Redskins penalty. Time for a game break. Joel Klatt. Joel?
All right, Kenny, we go to frigid Minnesota, where the Vikings, a return unit, has scored 2 touchdowns today, both off of block punts. That one, Jasper Brinkley blocks it. Everson Griffin runs it in, 43 yards. Vikings up 21-3 over Carolina. Kenny, Moose, and Goose.
Wow, so the Vikings had not done it since 1986, and now they have 2 today.
I never do block punts came in bunches, too. I mean, we heard about sacks and turnovers, but never block punts.
Defense. You don't need offensive defense, just special teams. That's all you need.
Now 1st and 5 following the penalty. As Luck steps up, fires, Fleeter! What? Oh, he drops to make the catch.
And here's Andrew Luck's mobility in the pocket. A little bit of help from Trent Richardson. Watch him pick up Chris Baker, 92. Beats his man clean. There's your little chip. I'm going to slide over here. Oh, I got 80 running free in the secondary again. And Kobe Fleener, just watch. He's got to take his eyes off this right at the last second.
He's not going to live that one down in film watch on Monday, I'll tell you that.
Or Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh, man, that's going to haunt him for a long time.
Second and 5, Trent Richardson, Kerrigan the tackle. As Richardson takes it across midfield, so it will be 3rd down and 2.
I cannot believe we have seen Kobe Fleener twice running free in the Redskins secondary. I mean, they had to have a number 80 jersey on that scout team, right, Tony?
Absolutely.
Somebody was wearing number 80 with a red jersey, so you always know where Kobe Fleener is as you're getting ready for this game, and to have him running free in the secondary twice is unbelievable.
Luck on 3rd down. Fleener this time makes the catch for a Colts 1st down. Minifield the tackle. Fleener to the 42, gain of 8.
Andrew Luck goes right back to him, which is good for his confidence. I mean, after you drop that one that you're wide open, I mean, you want to get right back into rhythm. You can't have a good memory being any kind of a wide receiver in this game. You got to just forget about that last play and keep moving on.
They've been together for a long time. Teammates at Stanford as well. And now it is Fleener again. Ryan Clark cuts him down at the 26-yard line. Another 1st down, 16 yards from Luck to Fleener.
He needs pressure, Darryl.
Well, you know, sometimes it's good when you don't have to think about it. He's going to come from the right tight end spot. You get that big stretch play coming the other way, and you see him sneaking out the back door right there. Nice play design.
1st and 10, 26-yard line. Holmes in once again as an extra blocker, number 62 on the right side. Off the play fake to Richardson. That could not be handled by Dante Moncrief, the rookie out of Mississippi, 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, you've got a hand in there. David Amerson in the coverage. Number 10 working at the top on the deep in route. Let's see if we get a hand right at the end right there. Yeah, it looks like he just changes the trajectory of the ball right as it arrives. Tough catch right there for Dante Moncrief.
Amerson back in the Redskins starting lineup today. Suspended for last week's game. Showed up late. Blamed it on his alarm clock on his cell phone. Redskins take a timeout. 6 minutes in, 2nd quarter here in Indianapolis. So Jay Gruden makes the change at the quarterback position this week. Not a good start, however, for the Redskins.
No, it's kind of the same old, and maybe there's some potential for that, because he would say that this is not on Robert Griffin III solely. There's a lot of breakdowns. Our protection's not great. They didn't have Trent Williams last week. Jordan Reed wasn't in the lineup as a guy on the outside to create matchup problems. The receivers weren't running routes. He said, I could be better. I could call a better game. So there were issues across the board, but he felt Colt McCoy gave him the best opportunity to win the game this afternoon. And up until this point, we have seen very, very little difference from the offense we saw at San Francisco last week in the passing game to the offense we're seeing here this afternoon against the Indianapolis Colts.
Only 19 yards of offense for the Redskins, with McCoy getting the start. Redskins had some golden opportunities early. 2 Indianapolis turnovers, but Washington able to score only 3. Second down and 10 for the Colts from the Redskins 26 following the timeout. Reggie Wayne in the slot. And Luck forced a fall on it. Off the snap from Harrison.
Washington bringing up a lot of players towards that line of scrimmage. One of the things that Jim Haslett likes to do, he likes to get a number of guys up there. Some are going to drop out, some are going to come. That cat and mouse game, and it looks like it actually, Jonathan Harrison never got that cleanly back.
We'll return in a moment. Merriweather, the injured Redskin. There's Raheem Morris, former head coach in Tampa Bay. It's been a rough year. He's been unable to keep his players on the field. Redskins lost D'Angelo Hall, Tracy Porter on IR, E.J. Bigger's out today, and now Brandon Merriweather to the sideline.
Last week it got so thin, he was running out onto the field to coach up the guys in the secondary and then sprinting off.
3rd down and 12 as Luck throws, and the catch is made by T.Y. Hilton. Wow, what a catch for the Redskins 3. 25-yard pass play.
These back shoulder throws, when quarterback and wide receiver get good at this, I just don't know what you do as a defensive back, because you're stride for stride in coverage, having trouble getting your head around, and you see the location of the throw by Andrew Luck, just tremendous.
Keenan Robinson over there, guys, is on the bench. The doctors are taking a look at his left knee, so he's questionable right now.
Thanks, Goose. Replaced by Will Compton, 51. First and goal from the 3. Luck moving to his left, chased by Kerrigan. Throws back to the end zone. Touchdown, T.Y. Hilton.
And it's not just speed and explosion down the field. You can see right there with this catch. I mean, this ball has a lot of zip on it. It's going to the back shoulder. He's moving away from it. And this is a heck of a catch. I'm going to break to the outside, but it's thrown back to my inside. The only place Andrew Luck could have fit that ball.
So Hilton with another souvenir football to bring home for his newborn daughter. Scored a touchdown last week against Jacksonville, and he cradled the football like a baby. His daughter born last Sunday morning.
Back to the traditional TY on that one.
That's right. 21-3. Last week against the Jaguars, 73-yard touchdown reception. T.Y. Hilton cradles the baby. Newborn daughter, Gigi.
Look, it's all painted up and everything already. That's awesome.
A lot of pre-work on that one.
And now we're back. Now we're back to the TY. He's going to come home someday, and Gigi's going to be out in the front yard with her game football all painted up nice, kicking it around with her girlfriends. It's all scuffed up. You're not going to be able to read it, tell what it was.
Sound like that has happened in your household.
Oh, never,
Darryl,
never, no. Where's my Mickey Mantle baseball?
Yeah. In the yard.
There's Andre Roberts, and he is tackled shy of the 20-yard line by Josh Cribbs. So Colt McCoy leads the Redskins offense onto the field. Only 19 yards for the Redskins offense. How about this? Colts have more points than the Redskins have yards.
That could be the first time I have ever seen a graphic where we've gone toe-to-toe points and yards, and points is one out. Tells you what kind of day it has been for this Redskin offense again.
Not good, not good.
McCoy, 4 of 8. He's been sacked 3 times.
And they had an opportunity early in the game to put 14 real quick with 2 turnovers.
Roberts in motion. Redskins start from the 16-yard line. McCoy getting rid of it quickly. But Garcon is brought down at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
It's unbelievable to me that we're looking at an offense that has only generated 19 yards right now when you have Pierre Garcon, Deshaun Jackson, Jordan Reed, Alfred Morris. I mean, that is a lot of talent on the outside. We thought 77 net yards was bad last week against San Francisco. They're at -3 right now.
Including the yardage lost on the 3 sacks. No catches for Deshaun Jackson today. 2nd down and 10. McCoy under pressure. Fires downfield. There is a flag, and it is picked off by Greg Toller. Toller inside the 15. Tackled by Alfred Morris. But we will check in with referee John Parry.
Prior to the interception, holding defense, number 28. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
It's on Toller, who picked off the pass.
You get up at the line of scrimmage, you're going to be very physical. There's the jam, the hold. Once you get beyond 5 yards, you have got to let the wide receiver go. You can be physical through the 5 yards. We talked
the
about the tight man-to-man here.
Excuse me, Darryl. Second first down for the Redskins, and it comes by a penalty. Second first down of the game. Roy Halou in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Off the fake to Halou. McCoy being chased. He throws, and the catch is made out at the 34-yard line. And that is the first reception of the season for Santana Moss.
Well, we talked about those playmakers on the outside. Here's one of the reasons why Colt McCoy has the opportunity this afternoon. Look at the numbers to Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garçon compared to Robert Griffin III and Kirk Cousins. I mean, smaller body of work, but very effective. We have not seen that yet this afternoon. That was our first example on that last play, and that's a heck of a throw by Colt McCoy, booting to his left, right-handed quarterback with Eric Walden right on his tail.
So Santana Moss gains 13, picks up a first down, the 14-year vet. First reception of the season, and now the Redskins take their second timeout with 5:15 remaining in the second quarter. And the Redskins trailing by 18. We head for a game break to Los Angeles. Joel Klatt. Joel?
That's right, Kenny. We go to Pittsburgh, where Drew Brees on the road finds Benjamin Watson, 15-yard TD catch. Bad coverage there from the Steelers. That's Watson's first TD of the season. They're up by 1, 7-6. Kenny, Moose, and Goose.
All right, Joel. Saints and Falcons at 4 and 7, tied atop. Yes, tied atop the NFC South.
Atlanta has a tiebreaker, though, with the opening game victory in Atlanta.
Saints looking for just their second road win this season. 1st and 10 for the Redskins following a timeout from the 34-yard line. The handoff to Halou. And Halou works his way up to the 39-yard line for a gain of 5.
But if the Redskins can put together a nice drive here and get some points, how big is that holding penalty on Greg Toller going to be in the scheme of this game? You've got first down inside the 20 for the Colts if that's a clean interception. And let's see what Colt McCoy and his offense can do on this drive right here. See if they can take advantage of that penalty.
Redskins empty the backfield. Deshaun Jackson slot to the left. McCoy on 2nd and 5, and the catch is made for a first down by the tight end Jordan Reed. Takes it to the Indianapolis 45-yard line, a gain of 16.
A little bit on that last play, maybe a little bit more liberty at the line of scrimmage for Colt McCoy from Jay Gruden in the offense. It seemed like most of the things that we were running before as the Redskins offense were called in the huddle. Not a lot of adjustment at the line of scrimmage. Colt McCoy said he feels very comfortable getting up to the line of scrimmage, getting the offense into the correct play. Feels he knows this offense well enough to have control at the line of scrimmage.
From the 45, it's Morris. And McCoy told us yesterday he really took to this offense quickly. He said the Redskins were the only team that wanted me. He signed back in April knowing that he would go into camp as the third quarterback on the depth chart, but he said he picked up Jay Gruden's offense in about a week.
Yeah, and I think that some people would be surprised at. I think you can give him a little bit more freedom at the line of scrimmage. And one of the reasons he stayed, Jay Gruden told him, if you come as my 3, I won't bring in another quarterback into camp. We'll keep you and Robert Griffin III and Kirk Cousins. You'll be our guys. And it was that and the fact that when he did look around that locker room and saw the talent at the skill position, he thought it was a great opportunity.
2nd down and 10. McCoy moving to his right, can't find anyone downfield, and then throws it away.
A play developing very, very late to the left side, and here at the right side at the top, there's your tight coverage again, Greg Toller, but here's where he wanted to go, down here on the bottom, defensed well. Good change up by the secondary and the linebackers of the Colts there in exchanges. That forces Colt McCoy out of the pocket. That's right, just throw it out of bounds. Line up again on 3rd down. I know it's 3rd and 10 plus, and we've been there too many times and have had almost no success, but at least you avoid the sack.
5th time today, 3rd and at least 10 for the Redskins. They have not converted. McCoy throws, and it is Andre Roberts who makes the catch for a Washington first down. So for the first time since week 2, the Redskins convert on a 3rd and 10+ as Roberts gains 22.
Andre Roberts, a nice lean inside. There's the separation. That was a nice little move at the top of that route to get Greg Toller to lean inside. And just give your guys an opportunity. You get one-on-one coverage. It's going to be tight man-to-man against the Colts, but if you really believe that they are good and talented on the outside, give them a chance to make that catch.
Redskins had been 0 for their last 38 in 3rd and 10+ prior to that play. And now McCoy looking for the touchdown to Garcon. Vontae Davis defending.
Yeah, we might get a taunt right here. Yep.
Yeah, about standing right next to it, man. They're still going at it right now.
Bottom of your screen, 21 versus
After
88.
the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting. Defense number 21. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
The taunting flag on Davis. He and Garcon were not teammates here in Indianapolis, missed each other by a year. So Davis is flagged for taunting as the field judge, John Lusavanski, was on the scene.
Hey, listen, you have good coverage like that, you don't have to taunt. Just get up and get back to the huddle and keep your mouth shut.
You never taunted, Goose, right?
Never. I would always be nice and quiet and just not say anything.
Got to save your breath.
Yeah, back then you didn't get a flag for it. The new rule, man.
That's right. 9th play of the drive for the Redskins. As Morris takes it inside the 5 to the goal line, there is a flag.
Usually when a flag's down like that, it's on the offense on that zone block, and any kind of jersey or anything like that, that line judge on the outside goes and spots. See what he gets here.
Long discussion amongst the officials.
Holding, offense, number 11. 10-yard penalty, will replay, first down.
Sean Jackson helping out Alfred Morris downfield. There he is going against Vontae Davis. He gets in. He's in good shape right there. Now as he starts to fall, he pulls on the face mask. So a good start initially. You get in there, you get your hands inside, you start working, and then you start to lose your balance. You just reach out and you inadvertently get a handful of that face mask. And that actual pull actually opened the hole for Alfred Morris.
So it forces the Redskins back to the 21-yard line. First down and 20 as we approach the 2-minute warning. McCoy over the middle. It's Roy Halou, and Halou takes it into the end zone for a Redskins touchdown.
What a great route by Roy Halou Jr. One-on-one in space, just a choice route by your running back coming out of the backfield. Every offense has it. You're going to come out here and work the one-on-one. It'll lean outside, cross the face to the middle of the field.
Nice throw by Colt McCoy. Also a pressure in his face. Getting a lot more confidence as the game's going on, Darryl.
That was a nice rhythm established on that drive. And let's go back to that penalty by Greg Toller, that holding penalty. And we're looking at first down inside the 20 for the Colts at 21-3.
For that, the extra point. McCoy to Halou, 21 yards for the Redskins score. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. Best drive of the game for the Redskins. 9 plays, 84 yards. 6 first downs on the drive. They had only 1 prior. And Roy Halou Jr. scores his 3rd touchdown of the season.
A little resiliency, too. You have the touchdown run by Alfred Morris, that penalty on Sean Jackson, and then you come right back on the next play and get Roy Halou Jr. matched up for another touchdown.
Cribbs on the return for Indianapolis. Now to the 26. A minute 50 remaining. Second quarter as Roy Halou Jr. finds a young Redskins fan. Nice souvenir. We are back in Indianapolis. 21-10 lead for the Colts. They turned the ball over on their first two possessions, but the Redskins managed to score only 3. Andrew Luck with a pair of touchdown passes today. One to Kobe Fleeter, the other to T.Y. Hilton. Luck's streak ended last week. He had passed for 300 yards in 8 consecutive games. Jaguars held him 253. Now Luck and the Colts go to work from their 26 with all 3 timeouts. Luck on first down, over the middle. It is Wayne. So Reggie Wayne extends that streak, his 3rd catch today, 82 straight games with at least 3.
Here's that 2-minute drill that every coach we talked to and player they did not want to see out of this Colts offense. With Andrew Luck back there, they said he's unstoppable when he goes in the 2-minute phase.
Second down and 1. Luck under pressure. And he was able to
Unbelievable
get rid of the ball before he
But I don't
was
think it
brought
got
down.
to, but it didn't get to the line of scrimmage.
Right, there's the flag.
Yeah, this is one of the things he's great at, knowing where the pocket is.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 12, who was out of the pocket, still up. The ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage. Penalty includes loss of down.
Little short there.
We've seen him do it a number of times. Just comes up a couple yards short there. I mean, all he has to do is get that beyond that line of scrimmage, and that's fine. And he's very cognizant of that. Does as good a job as anybody in the NFL preventing sacks in those situations.
So the Colts going backwards. Remember on the previous play, it looked as if Wayne had the first down and then looked to curl back around and gained only 9. And then on 2nd and 1, the intentional grounding call. So it is now 3rd down and 10.
Guys, Keenan Robinson, number 52, he's back in. You guys can see that. He was evaluated, but he's fine now, so his return.
Luck steps up on 3rd down and 10. He takes off, and he picks up a first down.
And it's an element that you have to account for when you play the Colts. You're going to get in, you're going to bring forward pressure, you're going to drop. You got man-to-man coverage, and as soon as he recognizes that, he sees everybody's backs turned, and he starts to run down the field. It's a good job by Reggie Wayne working against David Amerson there down the field. Gets that block that allows him the time to get the distance for the first down.
Gain of 15. Goose mentioned Keenan Robinson's return. Brandon Merriweather has not yet come back for the Redskins. Philip Thomas in for Merriweather. Luck over the top to Boone Herron. Herron tackled at the 48-yard line by Perry Riley. Ball came loose. And the Redskins have recovered. It's the 3rd Colts turnover.
That's a good tackle by Perry Riley Jr. Puts his helmet right on the football. That was loose. You could actually see Daniel Boone Herron reaching around. It's kind of sliding around the back off of his hip, trying to recapture that ball right there.
And then it was recovered by Ryan Clark, who had an interception earlier. All turnovers are reviewed. There's the ball on the head from Riley. Herron reaching for it. Clark would find it. So the Colts, with their 3rd turnover of the first half, giving the Redskins a huge opportunity with a minute 6 remaining.
How about the Redskins? The last 2 games, taking the ball away last week against San Francisco, again here in the first half against Indianapolis after struggling almost the entire season up until that point.
That's right, only 9 takeaways their first 10 games. 3 last week, 3 so far today. Now McCoy with loads of time. There is a flag. Pass was intended for the tight end Jordan Reed.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, defense, number 20. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Darius Butler.
Working on Andre Roberts here in the slot. Beyond the 5 yards, there's the contact.
Redskins have one timeout remaining. 61 seconds to play, first half. Redskins with a touchdown on their last possession. Now looking to capitalize on the third Colts turnover. And that pass is too high. Off the hand of Garcon.
Yeah, Colt McCoy was not happy with himself on that throw. Right after he released it, boy, he was hard on himself. On the
It was very rhythmic on their last scoring drive, but here with the penalties, with the incompletes, it all inhibits the ability for that offense to get into the rhythm.
Second and 10 from the Colts 43. McCoy in trouble, and he is sacked for the fourth time. Eric Walden bringing down McCoy. And now the Redskins use their final timeout.
Eric Walden, 93, coming from the top. Going to collapse the pocket, but just 4 rushers again. Pushing that pocket back. Good job by Arthur Jones in the middle, not allowing Colt McCoy the ability to step up.
Now we check in with Kurt Menefee for a look at what's coming up at the half.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, Andy Dalton and the Bengals try to hold on to the top spot in the AFC North. The Chargers and Ravens in a battle for playoff position in Baltimore. And the Raiders play the Rams. And while those are playoff teams, it is Howie's favorite game of the day. Highlights and more at half.
All right. Thanks very much, Kurt. Here's a halftime report coming up. Guess what? Another 3rd and 10 plus for the Redskins.
We're on a roll right now, though.
One for their last one. Third down and 18 following the sack by Walden. Redskins must get to the 33-yard line. McCoy on 3rd and 18. This is Deshaun Jackson. Not even close as he's forced out of bounds at the 46. So the Redskins will punt it away.
Number 11 coming out of the slot. He's going to be your check down receiver. You're trying to create some route combinations down the field for the distance needed for the first down, but well covered by Indianapolis.
So 3 Colts turnovers, and the Redskins managed to score only 3 points. Following those turnovers, there is a flag as contact was made with the punter, Tress Way.
See if it's 5 or 15 running into a roughing.
Josh McNary.
Might have been a heck of a sell job. Let's see if Josh McNary makes contact.
Running into the kicker, not allowing him to come down on both feet. It's a 5-yard penalty's been declined. 1st and 10 Indianapolis.
Those kickers take acting classes sometimes, Darryl.
Well, the referee Perry added to that, the fact that he has to allow him to land cleanly on that punt. So with him not really making contact but sliding through, the inability for him to land clean.
That almost looked like one of those soccer plays where the guy gets touched and he falls down.
He's smiling a little bit too.
The 52 fake out in disguise.
Now he's got the Washington fans, lobbying for him for the Pro Bowl, but because of his kicking ability, he's adding another dimension to it.
He may win an Emmy as well. Or an Oscar.
They had like 3 guys running off the field. What, they have 14 guys on there? Here come a couple.
They were trying to beat you to the halftime meal goose.
Yeah. Wish I had one. I know you guys are going to have a buffet up there.
Well, Andrew Luck and the Colts survive 3 first-half turnovers. 2 touchdown throws for Luck as the Colts lead the Redskins At the half, 21-10, Jay Gruden making the switch from RG3 to Colt McCoy. Redskins offense finally came alive with a scoring drive late in the second quarter, but they trailed by 11. Washington will get the ball first following halftime. Time for the Visa halftime report, so we head to Los Angeles. Kurt and the gang take it away.
Outwork these boys! Brother 103, 1, 2, 3!
One sack, loses the football, and boom, Herron takes it all the way, 49 yards. Back to the end zone, touchdown. T.Y. Hilton. What a catch. Indianapolis Colts lead the Washington Redskins 21-10. Redskins will receive the second half kickoff. Today's excitement brought to you by Nissan. Hilton with 5 catches, 62 yards, and a Colts touchdown. So Indianapolis, Darryl, despite committing the 3 first-half turnovers too early, lead by 11.
Well, kind of similar to what happened last week against Jacksonville. You don't have a great first half. It's 6-3 at halftime. They come out, they win that game 23-3. Can they put together another good second half performance like they did last week? And for the Washington Redskins, one good drive in that first half. They've got to find some continuity. I think that one of the things that happened on that drive is Colt McCoy was allowed a little bit more freedom at the line of scrimmage to get up there, assess the defense, get to the play he thought was going to be most successful.
Redskins 92 yards of offense in the first half. McCoy 10 of 17 with a touchdown pass to Halou. And the Redskins only able to score 3 points off the 3 Colts turnovers. Andre Roberts, no opportunity for a return. So the Redskins will start from the 20 as we check in downstairs with Goose.
Thanks, Kenny. Talked to Coach Pagano. Little things he said. We need to go and take care of the little things. We've got to brush up a little bit on the penalties. We can't have them. And also, we need to protect the ball. The turnovers are inexcusable. Then I got a chance to talk to Jay Gruden. Let me tell you something. This guy is passionate. He said, we need to go and capitalize on opportunities. We got the ball. We need to go and put some points on the board. And then he just went on a rant. He was mad. I love the passion that he has. He says, I want to see guys flying around, smiling, having fun. I don't see that right now. We need to get some rhythm on offense, and I'm looking for guys in this second half that are going to be fighting for me, that want to be on this team.
All right, thanks, Goose. Redskins start from the 20 off the fake to Morris. Catch is made by the tight end, Niles Paul, on first down, and Paul gains 7. Setting up second down and 3.
That's the one thing, Moose. It's great to hear that from a guy like Jay Gruden. I mean, we can talk all the numbers we want, statistics and stats, but you got to go out there. You got to want to play this game. You want to play it with passion, and that's what he's looking for. And that's how he wants to build his team. He's looking for guys that want to fight. I mean, listen, it was inspiring, man. I'm ready to go and play a little bit of football myself on the field the day after that speech.
And you spent 7 passionate years playing here in Indianapolis, Goose.
Yeah, great years too, Kenny.
Morris first down out to the 31. Of course, you did not play in this building, but I know the fans are always excited to see you back here in Indy.
Yeah, it's nice looking up at the roof right now. You see 1995 and 96. We had some great years. We got, one play away from going and seeing Darryl in the Super Bowl against the Cowboys. We lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that was the toughest game I ever played in. But I'll tell you what, the Indianapolis Colts fans, man, they were loyal and stayed with us, and a lot of great years. My daughter was actually born here also, so a lot of great things happened to me in this city.
From the 31, play action. McCoy fires, and it's Deshaun Jackson who picks up a Redskins first down, and for Jackson, only his second catch today, he gains 18.
We got to see he's still down on that play. He got rolled up on from behind. There's number 11 on the little stack route release to the outside. And watch at the end of the play, you're going to have Darrell Young come in and get a block, and that player rolls up into Deshaun Jackson right there.
That was Mike Adams on the shove from Young. So an unfortunate ending to the play for the Redskins.
It's amazing. As physical as this game is, as violent as some of the collisions are on the field, it can be something as simple as that can just fall the wrong way, get hit the wrong way.
Jay Gruden helping Deshaun Jackson get back on his feet, his first season with the Redskins after 6 years in Philadelphia.
They need to find a way to get him back on that field as quickly as possible. He's just such a threat against the defense with his ability either down the field with speed or just on the short passes and his athletic ability to run after the catch.
Yeah, Jay Gruden wants 11 of those guys on the field that have the passion that he has.
Jackson replaced by the rookie out of Tulane, number 14, Ryan Grant. On the toss, it's Morris. And Alfred Morris takes it into Colts territory.
This is a guy they got to get rolling right here, and I like this drive to start the second half. And he always seems to be up around 4.5, 5 yards a carry. And you just, one of those guys that, that seems like the more you get it to him, the more he gets comfortable, the more he recognizes how his line is blocking, where the good matchups are. But I really like this opening series here in the second half by the Redskins. Mixing it in, a little bit of run, a little bit of play action.
Second down and 4. Roberts split wide to the left, Garcon to the right. Fullback Young set up in the backfield, and now McCoy uses a timeout. Saw something he did not like, so with the Redskins on the move, early third quarter, we will return to Indianapolis. Early third quarter in Indianapolis, 21-10 lead for the Colts over Jay Gruden's Redskins.
Guys, Deshaun Jackson, lower leg contusion. Return is questionable. We'll see what happens.
Hurt after his 400th career reception moments ago. McCoy's pass is deflected. Corey Redding got a piece of it. There's Deshaun.
That's good to see. You don't want something as innocent looking as that play that he got rolled up on be the end of his afternoon.
He's a competitor. He doesn't want to stand on the sideline. He wants to play the game.
Deshaun Jackson back on the field. Third down and 4.
Unfamiliar territory for the Redskins at 3rd and 4.
It's their shortest amount of yardage to go on third down today. McCoy under pressure. Now he throws. Nice adjustment by Roberts.
It's a catch.
Ruled a catch. It is ruled a reception by Andre Roberts for a Redskins first down.
Well, you're going to have protection breakdown. They're going to eventually flush Colt McCoy out of the pocket, and watch Andre Roberts on this catch.
Wow. Looked like he got both toes in. Little toe tap from his left and right foot.
Indianapolis has challenged the previous play. We'll review the play, timeout on the field.
Now, what about possession at the end of the catch?
That will be the big question, and also, did he get both feet down? There's the start. There's step 1, step 2 looks good, but it's step 3 we need to take a closer look at.
Noel John Parry.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Indianapolis discharged with their first team timeout.
So it is a first down, a spectacular catch by Roberts. Mike Pereira joins us from Los Angeles. Mike, what did you see?
I think replay is doing exactly what we've been doing now for a long time, staying with the call on the field. Whatever you ruled here, toes were down, ball moves, but that doesn't make it an incomplete pass. The left hand stays on the ball, so I think that's why they stayed with the call on the field, and I think replay has been very consistent lately in not overturning the call, any call on the field, unless it's absolutely conclusive.
All right, thanks, Mike. So it's a first down for the Redskins following the challenge from the Colts 21. McCoy handing it off to Morris. Morris up the middle. Gain of 5 down to the Colts 16-yard line.
I like the element of the running game that Washington has added here. We've seen a lot of the pulling, the trapping, the long traps from the backside as a mixture with the zone blocking scheme. You go back to the one game where Indianapolis really struggled versus the run against the New England Patriots. It wasn't a zone blocking scheme as much as it was a downhill power, kind of kick out, wrap around style, physical running game. And Washington has added some of those elements in here this afternoon.
Jackson slot to the left. Two tight ends, second down and 5. Off the fake to Morris. McCoy spins around, stays on his feet. Now throws. throws. It's Paulson for the touchdown. McCoy kept the play alive and then fires to Logan Paulson. And the Redskins, with the extra point pending, an opportunity to pull to within 4.
Hey, Tony, is that you think that's what Jake Gruden is looking for right there from Colt McCoy? You looking for somebody to make plays? The Indianapolis Colts have this play dead to rights. They've got 2 guys coming up. Everybody is covered. I mean, everybody is covered at this point. They played this play so well, they whiff 3 times on the quarterback. And Logan Paulson is able to find his way into the vision field of Colt McCoy. That is an unbelievable individual effort by your quarterback to get that touchdown.
Awesome.
First touchdown of the season for Paulson. Forbath adds the extra point for the Redskins, who trailed 21-3, and now some extracurricular activity. Flags have been thrown. Redskins with the last 2 touchdowns, and they now trail by only 4 as the officials get in between Redskins and Colts here.
Inspirational talk at halftime, guys. He's looking for guys that want to play.
Well, you make a play like Colt McCoy just made there, and it's infectious.
Good. After the play, personal foul, kicking team number 73. That penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff. Timeout on the field.
The time, 73, Frank Kirsch. He's fired up. Redskins drive 8 plays, 80 yards. Logan Paulson, first touchdown of the season, second touchdown pass for Colt McCoy today. So the Redskins have fought their way back. It's now a 4-point game here in Indianapolis. At one point, the Colts had more points, 21, than the Redskins had yards. There was a flag on the kickoff as Cribbs takes it out to the 39-yard line.
Offside, kicking team number 41. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. 1st and 10.
That's on Philip Thomas.
Let's go back and take a look at the touchdown, the effort by Colt McCoy to extend this play, but he's got to have help from his wide receivers, Pierre Garçon, Deshaun Jackson, as they're working across the field. They get picked up in coverage. Now, we saw what Colt McCoy was doing. I mean, these guys aren't doing much. I mean, Deshaun Jackson gets pushed out the back of the end zone. Now, here he is on the side. Watch Niles Paul, number 84 at the top of your screen. He stepped out of bounds. That guy's out of bounds. And Logan Paulson just happens to kind of fall into that void, but if your quarterback's working that hard, you've got to start working back to him. That's a very poor scramble drill by the wideouts for the Redskins.
And you've got to stay in bounds in order to be eligible.
Exactly.
Here's Richardson, who gains 3. And we'll head to Los Angeles for a game break with Joel Klatt. Joel?
All right, Kenny, and we go to Tampa Bay. Andy Dalton, beautiful throw here to A.J. Green from 13 yards out. And it's the Bengals' first lead of the day, 14-10, looking to stay in first place in the AFC North. Kenny, Moose, and Goose.
All right, thanks, Joel. Second down and 8 for the Colts. Pump fake by Luck. And now he takes it into Redskins territory across midfield to the 49, setting up a 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, but just a good, quick decision, positive yards, keeps you in that manageable 3rd down situation. Nothing like what the Redskins had faced on multiple occasions this afternoon with these 3rd and 10 plus.
And now Ryan Kerrigan is slow to get up. Kerrigan with the sack, forced fumble on the first play from scrimmage today. Grew up in Muncie, Indiana, first-round pick out of Purdue in 2011. Talked about some of the injuries in the secondary with D'Angelo Hall and Tracy Porter, E.J. Biggers, Brandon Merriweather today. Redskins, of course, without Ryan Arakpo. There's the defensive coordinator, Jim Haslett.
That's been a challenge for Coach Haslett during the course of the year with key guys going out and what he likes to do. And he's an aggressive coach by nature. Every time we talk to opposing offenses, they all talk about what you have to prepare for. Expect the unexpected. He's going to give you something during the course of the game that's going to get a free runner to the quarterback. And he's been able to do this with a ton of moving parts this year.
Even Andrew Luck this week quoted as saying, I wish Coach Haslett did not mix it up as much as he does.
Yeah, give me just a couple of things I've got to prepare for. But yeah, actually, he said it's going to be good for me. I'm going to learn a lot during this week of getting ready to face such a multiple defense and all the different things that they do, especially on third down, the way he attacks our protections.
Yeah, he is just so unpredictable. First down, he can bring the whole kitchen sink and then, play coverage on second. It's just, you never know what he's going to do.
9-3's down. 9-3's down.
Right here, looks like he's going to bring the kitchen sink. Linebackers up. Let's see what happens.
We're down in 3. Watt fires downfield. It's Moncrief. Touchdown.
That was a great job. You heard him call 93 down, 93 down. That means he's adding number 93 to the assignment to the offensive line. That's going to be taken up by an offensive lineman. We're going to put our 5 on your 5, including 93. So that goes out to Gosder Charles, the right tackle. That gives him the time to hold that pocket clean. And for the third time today, we have got a receiver running free in the Redskins secondary.
Dante Moncrief, the third-round pick out of Mississippi. His second touchdown of the season. 48 yards from Luck to Moncrief. Colts extend their lead. It took only 3 plays, 56 yards. Luck to Moncrief. And the Colts back up by 11. Teams exchanging touchdown passes here in the third quarter. David Amerson, who is beaten on the play. Redskins will start from their 20. Well, NFL athletes grew up playing in communities all across America. Now through NFL Play 60, they are encouraging kids in neighborhoods everywhere to come out to play for 60 minutes a day. To learn how NFL stars played as kids and to find great play ideas, visit NFLrush.com/play60.
All right,
I'm ready to go.
Hey, remember you said Jay Gruden got you ready to go. Kenny's ready to go. Got the eye black on.
Oh, he's ready to go, all right. He's ready to go, all right.
Look out, he's coming through the tunnel in about 2 minutes.
Oh, man, he's fired up. Kenny is fired up.
You're coming up here, Goose. I'll switch spots with you.
No, you're terrifying me, man. I can't do it. I can't even come up there.
Morris bottled up on first down by combination of Jones and Redding. So what have you seen, Darryl, from Colt McCoy on these 2 touchdown drives, one late in the second quarter and early in the third that you did not see earlier?
I see a rhythm that they're establishing. The last drive, really nice mix of run pass, and obviously the great individual effort by Colt McCoy on the touchdown. A little bit of freedom at the line of scrimmage, the confidence to get out of plays and move into something different based on what the Colt defense is showing him.
Yeah, he's playing looser, man. He's just letting it rip.
On 2nd and 9. McCoy with time, throws to the outside, and the catch is made for a Redskins first down by Deshaun Jackson out at the 32.
And let's not downplay the importance of those guys up front. He's having some much better protection here late first half, early second half. I mean, he was under siege a little bit in the beginning of the game, and his offensive line has settled down.
Sacked 4 times in the first half. We mentioned RG3 sacked 16 times over the last 3 games, all losses. The decision by Jay Gruden this week to go with McCoy against the Colts today. And now McCoy fires downfield for Garcon, just out of his reach. No flags. Vontae Davis, the DC native, on the coverage.
Oh, this has been a fun matchup all afternoon. Vontae Davis, 21 versus Pierre Garcon, 89. It's straight out man-to-man. Going deep. Letting them play, a little hand checking on the outside.
They've been going at it all day long. Remember the taunting foul earlier? Davis taunting Garcon back in the second quarter.
If Vontae Davis wanted that arm called.
Play clock winding down, 2nd and 10. This is Roy Halou Jr. He's tripped up down at the 34.
Yeah, Roy Halou Jr.'s just got to be a little bit better out there with his feet. Chris Chester doing a nice job getting out in front. Sergio Brown comes up and kind of makes a mess of this whole thing and trips up Roy Halou Jr. as he's trying to go over the top. Might have got away with a trip there.
Yeah, Sergio Brown taking on an offensive lineman. They ain't going to call that for a trip. He was totally outmatched, but he got the job done.
Third down and 8. Redskins must get to the 42 for a first. Jordan Reed makes the catch, tries to spin away from 2 defenders, and it looks like he is just short. It will depend on the spot.
So I got a very favorable spot on that one. Let's see where the ball comes down. His knee's down right there. I don't see him even close to that red yellow line.
Looks short.
Yeah.
Ball spotted just shy of the 42.
That looks like a good spot right there with the yellow line back in that we just showed.
Somebody moving the yellow line on us or what? What's going on in the truck?
That looks good right there. I mean, that's where it appeared to be when he's outstretched for the first down marker.
Yeah.
Reed stops short. So now on 4th and inches, it looks like Jay Gruden will leave his offense out on the field.
I don't like this call. Your offense has just started to get some rhythm. You're down 11 right now, but you give Andrew Luck and his offense the ball right here.
Yep.
You're in trouble. They live for that. You know, Chuck Pagano talks about we want to be a half-court offense and we want to be a full-court defense. You give us a short field, we talk about it all the time, going and scoring. We want to put our defense back on the field with a ton of area to defend. So, Jay Gruden, this is a huge call. I don't agree. I'd punt and play defense.
2 tight ends. Morris and the fullback Young in the backfield, and now the Colts use a timeout. So midway through the 3rd quarter, big decision by Jay Gruden, trailing by 11. And now we'll have some more time to think about it as he left his offense out on the field, 4th and inches at his own 42-yard line.
You've got viewers at home going, it's 4th and inches. You know, why wouldn't you take a shot on it? You know, who cares about field position? I was part of a game where we were trying to do this exact same thing. We were outside. We knew if we punted into the wind and then allowed the Eagles to come back on the field with the wind at their back, go down the field, we were going to lose in overtime. Not only did we get stuffed once, we got stuffed twice on 4th and inches because there was a question right at the 2-minute warning. The whistle went off, so we got an opportunity to think this whole thing over and to change our minds, and we didn't.
If you're the Colts defensive line, you want to make sure you stay onside. You got that hard count. I'm sure he's going to try and use it.
That was Barry Switzer running the same play twice, right?
Yes, it was.
All right, 4th and inches. McCoy in trouble. He's sacked by Walden. It's recovered by DeQuell Jackson, and he's in for the touchdown. Well, that's the worst case scenario. 4th and inches. Not only do you get stopped, but you get sacked. And it's returned for a defensive score.
At 4th and inches, you're going for the big play. You're going to drop back and throw play action, hoping to hit him on a big play. And what this does is it actually puts your running back in the situation where he's got to block a straight pure pass rusher coming off play fake back around. Now, I don't know if that's Logan Paulson's guy, Trent Williams' guy. You had 2 guys standing on 1.
Yeah, there was no slide by that offensive line. You had 2 linemen there taking 1 guy.
No, I think that was just I think it's a heck of an effort by Alfred Morris to recognize that and get back, because you had 71 Trent Williams and 82 Logan Paulson down inside. I don't think you can ask Alfred Morris to do this. I'm hoping that wasn't the protection.
The extra point is good. Walden with his 2nd sack today, and then DeQuell Jackson returns it for his 2nd career touchdown. Well, the Redskins forced 3 turnovers. They could only score 3 points off the takeaways. Colts force a turnover for the first time and score as Jay Gruden's decision to go for it on 4th and inches backfires. And the Colts now lead by 18.
And you've got number 93, Eric Walden, coming clean from your left side. I mean, Colt McCoy doesn't even have the opportunity to get set and let this ball go. So it doesn't matter by design if that play was open. You had a breakdown in protection, and you turned loose one of their edge rushers. I don't understand on a fourth down critical snap situation where you blow a protection to the point you've got a tackle and a tight end on one guy, and the edge rusher comes free.
And on the back blind side, too. Colt McCoy can't even see him coming.
35-yard return by DeQuell Jackson, University of Maryland product, who was a teammate of Colt McCoy for 3 years with the Cleveland Browns. McCoy swings it out on first down. Halou breaks a tackle, breaks another, and gains 7 out to the 27-yard line.
And Vontae Davis, who came up and made the hit, is still down. I tell you, this is tough running by Roy Halou Jr. He's not in a great spot. And Vontae Davis comes up, has an opportunity to hit him clean. He just bounces off Roy Halou Jr.
Pretty cool looking cut there in slow motion.
You wonder, you saw him with the hit and the head kind of bend. You wonder if that's a little bit of a burner.
Yeah, it looked like his neck went to the side, right? Pretty familiar with them, aren't you, Darryl?
Yeah, they need a new name. It's much worse than a burner.
Redskins faced his brother last week, 49ers tight end Vernon Davis.
I tell you what, he's been tremendous on the outside, matching up against Pierre Garçon during the course of the game. Here's an opportunity right now for the Redskins with Vontae Davis out of the lineup to see if they can get Pierre Garçon matched up one-on-one outside with his substitution or the shift that comes from the new personnel coming in.
Davis replaced by Josh Gordy, number 27. Second down and 3 for the Redskins. Redskins pulled to within 4 early in this third quarter of the Colts with a pair of touchdowns, one from their offense, one from their defense. This is McCoy off the fake to Morris, and Colt McCoy has a Redskins first down. Gain of 11 for McCoy.
Good opportunity for this play to come in. LaRon Landry, number 30, is going to come down here, but he's going to come in and chase. And he was kind of your run support that was on the outside. There's nobody out there right now. It's just Pierre Garçon and Josh Gordy.
Landry, the ex-Washington Redskin. First-round pick by the Redskins back in 2007. Here's McCoy again. Same play. And there is a flag. 2 flags come in.
Needs to work on that slide.
Holding, offense, number 71, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Fred Williams' second penalty today.
Right here at the end of the line. And that's how that play works. That's how that zone read works. You take your tackle and you double down, you climb up to the linebacker. Try to get them both washed down. Leave the defensive end in the position. What are you going to do? You're going to squeeze running back? You're going to play quarterback? You can't be right on both.
From the 29, now first down and 19. McCoy's pass broken up. Darrell Freeman getting a hand on it.
That's good coverage by Jarrell Freeman because Jordan Reed is a tough matchup for linebackers. A lot of times you'll see him flexed out. You'll even get some safeties. This is straight one-on-one. That's a nice job in coverage.
Second down and 19. McCoy steps up, throws, and the catch is made by Jordan Reed. And he picks up a first down and more. Reed with a hurdle, then took it across midfield and he gains 29 yards.
And there's the matchup problem that we talked about. 86 coming out of the traditional tight end spot again. You get passed into the secondary, just slide into that void. Nice run after the catch, too. You can see the athleticism.
Biggest play of the day for the Redskins offensively. 5th reception for Reed at the season high. And now McCoy going deep for Deshaun Jackson. He adjusts, makes the catch. Redskins touchdown.
That's Josh Gordy filling in for Vontae Davis. It wasn't Pierre Garçon, it was Deshaun Jackson. And I know it's a touchdown, but Colt McCoy told us against Dallas he had a couple shots with Deshaun Jackson down the field. He underthrew him, and he was hoping not to have that happen again. And it actually benefits him in this situation because Josh Gordy's in good position if it's thrown deep. But because it's a little overthrown and he doesn't have his eyes back until late, Deshaun Jackson is able to make the adjustment for the touchdown.
5th touchdown of the season for Deshaun Jackson. He was injured earlier, came back into the game. Forbath the extra point. And for Colt McCoy, Darrell, a career-high 3rd touchdown pass of the game. So once again, it is an 11-point game. 4 touchdowns here in the 3rd quarter. Week 13 continues later today on CBS and for some of you on Fox. And tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC. And tune in tomorrow night for Monday Night Football on ESPN. Week 13 in the National Football League. Redskins at 3-8. 6-play, 80-yard drive. Colts 7-4. 2-game lead on the Texans, who are out on top of the Tennessee Titans today. 31-14. You mentioned Gordy, who was beaten by Jackson for the touchdown, in for Vontae Davis. He has been ruled out for the remainder of the game with a concussion.
And one of the things that I think probably factored into Jay Gruden's decision of going with Colt McCoy, I mean, you go back to his college career at the University of Texas. When he graduated, he had the most wins of any starting quarterback in NCAA history. He graduated with 45 wins, 8 losses, had 10-plus wins in all 4 seasons at the University of Texas as a starter. There's a history there. There's that habit of winning, of being able to rally around you, and that's what he talked about. Getting the opportunity with the Redskins was, there's playmakers around me. All I've got to do is get us into the right play, give them the opportunity to use their skills to make plays, and we'll be fine.
We're a record of 45-8 at the University of Texas. Here's Cribbs on the return. Out to the 27 with just over 5 minutes remaining, 3rd quarter in Indianapolis. We check out the playoff picture in the AFC. Big game for the Patriots later today against the Packers. Other first-place teams, the Broncos, Bengals, and, of course, the Colts. And the race for the wild card. How about the AFC North with all 4 teams at least 3 games over the 500 mark heading into today's action?
Yeah, congratulations. That division has been up and down for a while, and some real stability across all 4 teams this season.
So now the Colts start from their 27-yard line. Off the play fake, Luck rolling right. And then before he steps out of bounds, he throws it away across the line of scrimmage. So it will be 2nd and 10. All 4 drives in this quarter have resulted in touchdowns. That includes the 1 defensive score by the Colts. Redskins with a pair of touchdowns here in the 3rd quarter. Luck on 2nd and 10. Throws, and the catch is made by Fleeter for a Colts first down. He breaks free. Kobe Fleeter inside the 30, the 10, all the way to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown. 73 yards.
There's so many things that go on in this play to show you how good of an offense, how good of a team the Colts are. Number 1, the protection to allow Andrew Luck the time to throw the ball. Now you've got Kobe Fleener coming out of that tight end spot. He's going to just work an in route. And you're working against a linebacker, and you've got safety help that comes in over the top. So Everett Brown is a stand-up outside linebacker in it for Ryan Kerrigan. Then you've got Ryan Clark coming in. Look at the hustle by Dante Moncrief. So protection, the ball's thrown, great individual effort by Kobe Fleener to break away, and then his teammate Dante Moncrief helping him out to make sure he gets in the end zone.
Second touchdown today for Fleener. The 73-yard pass matches Luck's career long. And for Luck, it's his 4th TD throw of the day.
And we've seen a couple instances today where there's a lot of pressure. You've got the slot coming off the top right. You've got the linebacker coming in. They've got everybody picked up. So we've seen a couple examples of max blitzes here today that Indianapolis with offensive line, running back, tight end have done a great job in the protection. And there's the matchup. Kobe Fleener, Everett Brown, stand-up outside linebacker, probably more of an edge rusher than a cover guy. You find him out there in that matchup.
A lot different face than earlier when he missed that ball when he was wide open now, guys. Looks like he's having a lot more fun.
He's been on a roll the last couple of weeks. And tackling, it's such a critical thing. I mean, every defense we talk to getting ready to do a game, and it's one of the biggest emphasis, tackling. We've got to tackle well. I mean, you've got two guys right there. That's going to be a nice play. You're going to have pass protection, a good catch and run. It's going to be a gain of 15, 18, 20 yards. And because you didn't tackle well, it turns into a 73-yard touchdown.
This late in the season, no more pads.
There have been 5 touchdowns scored in the last 6 minutes, 37 seconds.
Well, let's go.
So it's a 42-24 Colts lead. We head to Los Angeles once again before our next touchdown. Joel Klatt. Joel?
Well, the same thing is going on in Jacksonville. Bad news for the New York Giants fans. Another turnover. Aaron Colvin's going to pick this one up. 41 yards later, he's in the end zone, and Jacksonville Jaguars have come all the way back to take the lead. 22-21 on the second defensive touchdown of the half. Kenny Moose and Goose.
All right, thanks, Joel. Tom Coughlin back in Jacksonville on Alumni Day. Jaguars honoring many of their former greats with their ex-head coach on hand. McCoy to Garcon.
Giants were up 21-0 in that game. Jacksonville's come all the way back. I mean, everybody here, everybody in this stadium knows how good Jacksonville can be. They saw that last week.
Jacksonville only 1 win on the season.
But a tough defense.
Tough
defense. That offense will start to grow together. They're very young on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, they are playing well.
Second down and 5. McCoy to the outside. It's Reed. And Jordan Reed picks up a Redskins first down. Arizona Cardinals in Atlanta to face the Falcons today. Cardinals at 9-2 lead the West. Eagles with the win on Thanksgiving over the Cowboys. It's the Packers and the Patriots. New Orleans with a 28-16 lead on the Steelers in the fourth quarter as they look for win number 5, which would lead the division for the moment, with the Falcons in action later today.
And obviously headed for a situation where a wild card team that doesn't get in could have a better record than that division winner.
That's right. McCoy was under pressure from Walden, able to get rid of it, and it's Reed again. So Jordan Reed gained 16 on his 7th catch of the day.
One of the big guys who was missing last week against San Francisco, and we've seen today, how valuable he is matching up on the outside.
Reed leads the Redskins with the 7 receptions. McCoy has hit 9 different receivers today. He's thrown for 285 yards. Finished with 299 in his prior start against Dallas. Sean Jackson makes the catch. Jackson picks up another Redskins first down. Let's see, they mark it just short. So the ball spotted at the 43-yard line, so it's 2nd down and 1.
And again, just that nice flow, that nice rhythm with the offense, late first half, all the way through to this point. in the third quarter. Washington's offense coming out onto the field establishes this nice rhythm.
Yeah, their offensive line is playing good. I'll tell you what, it's just the complete opposites from first half to second half.
They just need their defense to make a stop at some point now.
McCoy on 2nd and 1, going deep for Jackson. There is a flag. Again, Josh Gordy on the coverage. He's in for the injured Vontae Davis, and Jackson again shaken up.
Pass interference, defense, number 27. Automatic first down, spot of the foul.
And you wonder if it's that same leg as it was hurt earlier in the game when he got rolled up from behind. There he is at the bottom of the screen, number 11, going against Josh Gordy. This is just going to be a straight go route, the release off the line of scrimmage. Now that speed, you're already beyond the safety. The safety is going to be too late to get over to help you.
Looks like he was in stride. I don't know if he got stuck in the turf or...
Remember, it was just a contusion, Tony.
Oh,
so you
yeah.
wonder if he's going down on it, and he's just aggravating that again.
Yeah, it looks like Gordy's knee nailed him right in the knee, so
the Redskins medical staff tending to Deshaun Jackson as we take one more look. 28 yards on the penalty.
you watch right here, their knees will collide. See it right there.
And then Jackson reaches for that right knee. Redskins pulled to within 4 early this half. They trailed by 11 when Jay Gruden made that decision to go for it on 4th and inches. Coy was sacked for the 5th time today. Lost the football. It was returned for a touchdown by Quell Jackson. Redskins would come back and score on their next possession. And then the Colts did the same. So with Jackson helped up, we will head west once again to Joel Klatt. Joel?
Kenny, we take you to Baltimore and the Chargers trying to come back in this ball game. Down 10, 4th quarter. It's Ryan Matthews from 14 yards out, and they draw within 3. So here come the Chargers, 23-20 on the road. Kenny, Moose, and Goose.
That's a different team. You know, they got off to that great start at 5-1, one of the top teams in the NFL, and then with Ryan Matthews out, Danny Woodhead out, they didn't have anything there at running back for a while. They've got Ryan Matthews back, and hopefully we'll have Deshaun Jackson back here in our game. But he's really favoring that leg as he walks off the field. And getting back to that decision, Kenny, I mean, at that time, your offense had finally got some confidence. You know, I just think it was, at that point, let's punt, let's play defense, let's force Indianapolis to drive the long field. You know, our offense is finally starting to get into this rhythm. It's going to be second-guessed, you know, all day tomorrow. I mean, it's 28-17 at this point, 4th and inches, and you're going for the big play, and we just have a breakdown in protection. Eric Walden, sack fumble, DeQuell Jackson, scoop and score, and now it's 35-17, and you've been chasing that since that decision.
Now following the penalty, 1st and 10 from the Colts 15-yard line. Just over 2 minutes remaining, 3rd quarter. The toss to Alfred Morris. And Morris gains 4 down to the 11-yard line.
And the Redskins have to take advantage of this. The Colts, the worst red zone defense in the NFL when you talk about touchdown percentage. And this is not good for the Indianapolis Colts usually. You see that time of possession. It's a big deal for Chuck Pagano. He talks about being able to control the game, playing complementary football. They've been able to score quick. They've been able to have some defensive help with a defensive touchdown. But normally that's a bad situation for the Indianapolis Colts.
Colts lead the league in time of possession. Despite all that, they've scored 42 points. Here is McCoy to the end zone, and there is a flag. Roberts was the intended target.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 20. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Darius Butler.
Working the inside, and the quick breakout. Just got to get a little flatter. Got a little flatter there. So get that separation, allow their quarterback to have a good throwing lane.
Yeah, you didn't need to hold him right there. You had help over the top. Penalties. Exactly what Coach Pagano said at halftime. We got to control the little things. Turnovers and penalties.
A look at defensive coordinator Greg Minuski. Each team, 8 penalties that have been accepted. There have been many more that were declined on both sides. First and goal from the 7. McCoy on the slant to Reed. And Reed is down just shy of the goal line.
He went knee down and then reached. He's going to argue, he's going to lobby, but that's a good call by the officials. No, don't have him throw that flag, because I think your knee's going to be down before you stretch in.
Could have been down on the player. Did it hit the ground? I don't know, Darryl.
Well,
I think
you know
he was
what?
on
You're
top
right.
of the
He's
player.
on top of the player.
I'm standing like maybe 8 yards from it, man. I got a
Check
pretty
his
good vantage
forearm,
point.
Doesn't have to be the knee, Tony. What about his forearm?
Oh, his forearm?
Yeah, he's down right there.
So it will be second and goal from the 1. McCoy has completed his last 7 pass attempts. On second and goal, it's Morris, and he does not get there.
Tell you what, that line of scrimmage just went backwards for the offense of the Washington Redskins. That Colts defensive line did a nice job of staying low and getting a nice push. There was nowhere for that running back to go. Morris.
I just think he's such a good edge rusher that you want to get him more out towards the outside. I think he's a better perimeter runner than between the tackles right now. That seems to be where his big plays are. He's got great vision and great cutting.
Third and goal, it's Morris, bottled up again. This time Andrew Jackson breaking through for the Colts. So that will take us to the end of the third quarter. Morris stopped on second and goal and third and goal. We'll be back. 5 touchdowns in the third quarter in the span of 6 minutes, 37 seconds. Colts lead by 18. Another fourth down decision for Jay Gruden. Redskins need points, so he leaves the offense on the field as Sean Jackson exits, and that is not good news for Washington. Redskins send out 3 tight ends along with the fullback Young. Fourth and goal from the 2. Morris stopped on second and goal, stopped on third and goal. Split wide to the right. One of the 3 Washington tight ends on the field. On fourth and goal to the end zone for Reed, and it is broken up. Terrific defensive play made by Mike Adams. So the Colts will take over on downs.
And what a great stand by the Colts defense, because there's nobody in the NFL that gives up more touchdowns inside the red zone. 70% of the red zone drives have ended in touchdowns against the Colts, and they do a tremendous job in that series against the Redskins. You've got a big guy outside. Colt McCoy needed to get that ball up in the air. Take Mike Adams out of the ability to make a play from the ground. Get it up high so it's just Jordan Reed.
So Mike Adams makes the play. Colts start from their 2. Luck looking to throw from the end zone. Gets rid of it before he's hit. Second and 10 upcoming.
Tell you what, he's gambling right there.
I just think it's his ability, his presence to know exactly where that pocket is. He's in the end zone this time, so it's a safety. If there's intentional grounding, he's outside the pocket. I just got to get it beyond the line of scrimmage.
He's just outside the pocket, dude. I'll tell you,
look at the
really
awkward
close.
stance he threw it.
Yeah.
Ryan Kerrigan back in for the Redskins. This is only the 40th play run by the Colts today. Redskins have run 57 plays on offense. Richardson takes it out to the 5. You look at the last 2 scoring drives.
That ball came out on that play, too.
And the Colts able to recover. Chairless right tackle. Last 2 scoring drives, 3 plays, 56 yards, 2 plays, 73 yards. So the Colts scoring quickly.
And don't forget the DeQuell Jackson scoop and score for the defensive touchdown. So again, this is what New England did to Indianapolis. This is what Pittsburgh did to Indianapolis. They kind of flipped the formula on them. They controlled the ball. They didn't allow Andrew Luck and that offense out on the field. Washington has just allowed the explosive play. We've had guys running free in the secondary for big touchdowns.
The Colts run only 5 plays in the third quarter, and they scored 21 points, including 7 from their defense. Now Luck firing downfield, too far for Fleener, with Philip Thomas defending.
And for his whole career, he's just very, very comfortable in the pocket. He knows he's athletic enough to get out of trouble, and you see the poise right there. I mean, that's in your end zone. You'd think a younger guy would be a little bit nervous, and he's buying time trying to get Kobe Fleener down the field for another explosive play.
McAfee punting for only the second time, both out of his own end zone. Big rush. McAfee able to get it away, taken at the 46 by Roberts. Andre Roberts across midfield. Tackled at the 49 by Zerlon Tipton. Well, the Redskins trailing by 18 early fourth quarter. They will start a drive for the 4th time in Colts territory, but they've come away with only 3 points on the previous 3. From the Indianapolis 48 on first down, McCoy backpedals over the top, incomplete. He was looking for Morris. Once again to Los Angeles and Joel Klatt.
All right, Kenny, quarterback news. Johnny Manziel in the game after Hoyer was benched, and on his first drive, 8 plays, 80 yards, and he takes it in himself. I mean, how about that? Draws within 10, 20-10 Bills.
Let the hysteria begin.
So Johnny Manziel scores his first touchdown. Colt McCoy, the former starting quarterback in Cleveland, making a second start for the Redskins today. On 2nd and 10, the catch is made for a first down and more by Jordan Reed, who's had a tremendous game, and Reed takes it down to the 17-yard line, a gain of 21.
You just go back. There's so many missed opportunities in this game. They're playing so well. Last week, it was a 120-plus rushing effort by Alfred Morris against San Francisco that was wasted. Today, the passing game has come alive. Jordan Reed's back in the lineup, having a big day. The offensive line is protecting well. And you still find yourself down 18.
And Colt McCoy goes over 300 yards. He had only 94 at halftime. Second career 300-yard game. This is Morris. And Alfred Morris works his way down to the 11.
Just remember how this game started out, though, Kenny. I mean, we were at one point, we had negative net yards passing for the Washington Redskins early in this game.
So big numbers in the second half. Now, McCoy has been sacked 5 times. Fumbled on the 5th Colts sack. It was returned for a touchdown. 2nd and 2 from the Colts 11. Wide receiver set. McCoy to the end zone, and it is broken up, nearly picked off by Gordy.
I don't like this decision by Colt McCoy right here. He's lucky that Josh Gordy didn't intercept this ball. He's in perfect position to make the interception. This is a jump ball situation with Andre Roberts, who's not real aggressive coming off that line. I don't even think he expects to be a viable receiver in that situation.
Down and 2. McCoy to the end zone. Garcon, the intended receiver.
And he wants that one back. I mean, that ball is supposed to be put in the far corner. That ball, even if the receiver was there, is uncatchable. Keep an eye on right here. I mean, it's outside. So far, he is not happy with himself at all.
You know, I'm going to go back to just the decision to go after Greg Toller. Remember, Vontae Davis is out with a concussion. I'm going to the other side. You know, I had my trips over that way. I'm going to play that. I don't want to go one-on-one jump ball scenario against Greg Toller. He's played well this afternoon.
So this time on 4th down, the Redskins send out the field goal unit. They have been stopped twice on 4th down. Forbath connects from 29. It is now a 2-score game. Well, Deshaun Jackson returning from the Redskins locker room to the sidelines, and he brought something with him.
Probably some x-rays, right?
Pretty big envelope. So potentially good news for the Redskins. Jackson with 5 catches today, including a touchdown. It's a 2-possession game. Colts lead by 15. Early 4th quarter here in Indianapolis. Well, it doesn't get any bigger than this. 4 of the nation's top teams face a must-win game to keep their championship hopes alive. The road to the college football playoffs goes through the Pac-12 championship and then the Big Ten championship Saturday right here in Indy. Catch them both on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Oregon already in that top 4. Ohio State trying to stay alive. TCU, Baylor, group of teams down there trying to get into that 4th spot.
Will Heron in the backfield. He'll be keeping a close eye on his alma mater, the Buckeyes. Heron takes the handoff from Luck and immediately no gain on the play.
Well, this is an area that Indianapolis, I mean, going all the way back to training camp, back in August, they wanted to be better running the football. And this is one of the reasons why. You know, you've got an explosive offense when you have a big lead like this. Now you want to be able to just come out and a little bit of run, a little bit of play action. Everybody knows to stay in bounds, take time off this clock.
Luck sets up the screen on 2nd and 10. It's Heron. Nice tackle. Philip Thomas, who's in for the injured Brandon Merriweather, makes the play.
He does a nice job of identifying Philip Thomas right on the outside there. Fights right through the offensive lineman, goes, dives, gets a piece. That's it. Even if he doesn't make the tackle there, he slows him down enough for other guys on the team to go and get a better angle and come in and make a play. That's a great open field tackle.
Mike 5-6, Mike 5-6. Burn. No. 1-2, 6. 1-2.
Third down and 9. As Luck sets and throws, it's Moncrief. Dante Moncrief, his 2nd touchdown today. This one goes 79 yards, longest pass of Andrew Luck's NFL career.
Feast or famine, Darryl.
Well, we've talked about the injuries in that secondary. Yeah, Brandon Merriweather's still not back.
Wow.
D'Angelo Hall is out. E.J. Biggers is not playing today. It's just been a tough day. I mean, this is the 4th time. I mean, just crushed off that. David Amerson, he drops him. Philip Thomas doesn't expect to have to pick him up. And the next thing you know, Dante Moncrief is behind everybody. It's the 4th time today we have seen somebody running free deep in the secondary of the Redskins.
Complete breakdowns.
Luck's last 3 touchdown passes have gone 48, 73, and 79 yards. He's thrown a career-high 5. Colts have put up 49 on the Redskins. Andrew Luck with his first career 5-touchdown game, a career-long 79-yard pass, and he has reached 4,000 yards for the season. He joins Peyton Manning and Dan Marino. Only 3 quarterbacks have thrown for 4,000 in 2 of their first 3 NFL seasons. He also became the 3rd quickest to pass for 12,000 career yards. Only Kurt Warner and Matthew Stafford reached 12,000 in fewer games than Andrew Luck.
And we all had Mark Bulger on that list, right?
Yeah.
Well done, Mark Bulger. I tell you what, the most impressive thing about him, though, is, you know, he had a comment this week, you know, somebody said, you know, have you had that epiphany moment yet? He's like, listen, I'm still learning this game. You know, situationally, there's so much that I still don't have a full grasp on. I'm only going to continue to learn and get better, and that is bad news for everybody in the AFC South.
A lot of defenses are not happy about that.
McCoy's pass is caught. There is a flag. Garcon makes the catch. It's against the Redskins, their 9th
Pass
penalty.
interference offense, number 89. 10-yard penalty replay, first down.
So while Andrew Luck and the Colts have put up 49, there is the second pick in the 2012 draft behind Luck.
And we talked about not finding that magic of his rookie season. I mean, he was the Pro Football Writers Association Rookie of the Year and Offensive Rookie of the Year. From the quarterback position, rookie records of a 102.4 quarterback rating. His interception percentage, which is huge for a young guy coming into the league, was the lowest in the history of the NFL for a rookie quarterback. So just some tremendous things in 212 that he hasn't been able to get back to yet.
McCoy over the middle, complete. Taken out to the 22-yard line by Alfred Morris. So what happens next with RG3?
Well, I think the biggest thing right now is the number 2 quarterback, and I spoke to him before the game, and I said, how are you doing? You know, where are you at? And he's good. I'm good. I'm good. I said, listen, there's going to be an opportunity. You've got to be ready. You've always got to prepare. Preparation is so underrated at the NFL level. And he said, you mean like this afternoon? So he gets it. He knows that as the number 2, he's a snap away from going back out on the field. And I think you've invested so much in him. You've got him under contract through next year. You see if you can get him to work through this. Physically, I don't think he's the same as he was. Fumble on Colt McCoy again.
6th Indianapolis sack. Redskins, Chris Chester able to recover this one.
Yeah, and you know, surprised to see Colt get up there. We're not having Robert Griffin III come in at that point.
Man, take a look at this, man. Colt McCoy gets lit up right here.
Greg Toller, just a tremendous day today. We saw him in coverage on the 4th down play, and here he is on the blitz with the sack fumble.
Second career sack for the Washington, D.C. native Greg Toller out of St. Paul's College in Virginia. 6 Colts sacks of Colt McCoy. Now 3rd down and 24. What else is new?
Wow.
And with the play clock winding down, the Redskins take too much time.
Delay game, offense, half the distance, 3rd down.
But Jay Gruden talked about last week not being solely on Robert Griffin III. Over the course of the 3 weeks when he got back and he was healthy and he had the opportunity to really kind of separate from the other 2 guys as the starter, he was unable to do that. He said he really wasn't able to do that during preseason. So, you know, that's the situation they're in right now. And again, today it hasn't just been, you know, the offense, you know, with defensive breakdowns, you know, coaching decisions, the 4th down, there was just such a huge momentum shift.
McCoy from the end zone. And Santana Moss, with his second catch of the day, takes it out to the 13 of the Redskins. Will punt it away as we hit 8 minutes remaining in the 4th. The Indianapolis Colts have run only 44 plays, yet they have scored 49 points, 1 touchdown from their defense. And the Colts' last 3 scoring drives. 3 plays, 2 plays, 3 plays. Quick strike attack by the Colts offense as Cressway punts from his own 3-yard line. Taken by Cribbs at the 33. Down to the 41. 8 yards on the return. Niles Paul made the tackle midway through the 4th quarter in Indy. Back in Indianapolis, Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. Colts with a 49-27 lead on the Redskins. Houston beat Tennessee 45-21, so the Texans go to 6 wins on the season. Colts looking for their 8th. The end around to Moncrief, who has 2 touchdowns today. Dante Moncrief with a 48-yard touchdown reception in the 3rd quarter and a 79-yard touchdown reception here in the 4th. Andrew Luck has thrown for 359 yards, 5 touchdowns, new career high. He's at exactly 4,000 yards for the season.
And how about the rebound by Andrew Luck today? You know, we talked about Washington's offense coming around after a slow start. He went sack fumble on the opening play, interception on the next possession, and has the type of afternoon he's had here down the stretch.
Second down and 4. Catch is made by Reggie Wayne, his 4th of the day. Check in on the Giants and the Jaguars with Joel.
That's right, Kenny. Jacksonville was down by 21 at one point in this game, but Josh Scobie, 43 yards for the win. Up and through, 20 seconds left. Jacksonville, 25. Giants, 24. Kenny Moose Goose.
7th consecutive loss for the Giants. They dropped 3-9. Jacksonville wins for the 2nd time this season. As we approach 6 minutes remaining here in Indy.
Back in New York with the Giants and the Jets. I don't want to see those papers tomorrow, I'll tell you that.
No, not a good year.
Tortured.
Here's Herron to the 44.
I think they found out a little bit about Boom Herron today as well. And we talked about that style of his that kind of excites the team. The crowd here loves. It's, you know, Goose and I know about it, right? You get that ooh in the name.
Holding, offense, number 72, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
But we, you know, Tony talked about Ahmad Bradshaw not being here anymore and the loss that created, the void that was there, and how they're going to do with protection and, you know, a viable 3rd down guy, a screen guy, and, you know, the ability to run the football. And Boom Herron has really took a step forward. Trent Richardson, we're going to have to wait and see. He's got an opportunity here. You know, we keep showing that draft. Andrew Luck, Robert Griffin III, and Trent Richardson. And, you know, Trent Richardson's going through his own struggles as well. You know, he's trying to find his niche here in Indianapolis after leaving Cleveland.
Up the middle, it's Herron. Herron out to the 49. So Boom Herron,
You know,
now up to 88 yards, and that's a season high for a Colts running back this year.
you know, you talked about protections, Darryl. You know, with the turnover early and the offensive line trying to fit with Ahmad Bradshaw not in the lineup, the offensive line really came around. I'll tell you what, Joe Gilbert does a great job with that offensive line. Young guys, he teaches fundamentals every day. He stays on top of them, and you know, with their backs against the wall and missing, you know, a guy who's major in the protection in Ahmad Bradshaw. These guys did a fine job of rebounding after the first couple series.
2nd down and 11. It's Richardson. One more note on Luck today, Darryl. First quarterback in Colts history, including Baltimore, with 2 touchdown passes of 70-plus yards in one game. It's never happened.
He's ahead of Johnny Unitas and Peyton Manning.
Yes, he is. Hitting Fleener.
At least in that category.
Yep, Fleener 73-yard TD reception, and then Moncrief 79. And for the Colts, they led 21-10 at the half. They scored 3 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter, including 1 from their defense. And they have extended their lead here in the 4th. 3rd down and 9. This is Moncrief. He's had a tremendous day. And he'll take it to the 41. Stop 2 yards shy of a first. Well, you mentioned Johnny U. What a career. And then Colts draft Peyton Manning ahead of Ryan Leaf back in '98. And then Luck ahead of RG3 in 2012.
But the fact that Peyton Manning has his neck issue the year that Andrew Luck is coming out, and you go 2-14, and you're looking at the potential of having 2 quarterbacks in this city for a long time, you know, 28, 30 years, where we see teams struggle in 5 years trying to find that quarterback. Look at the Redskins working through their issues with 3 guys on the roster this year who've all started games. And this franchise could have 2 quarterbacks for a run that could approach 30 years.
Play game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And the other guy still going strong in Denver.
Still going strong in Denver. Amazing. I mean, just unbelievable.
5 touchdown passes today for Luck, new career high. Pat McAfee out to punt for the 3rd time today. Roberts back deep for Washington. Colts will travel to Cleveland next week. Will it be Johnny Manziel to replace Brian Hoyer today? Redskins will host St. Louis, who beat Oakland 52-0 at home today. It was St. Louis who made the trade with the Redskins. Washington moving up to select RG3 with the 2nd overall pick in 2012. tremendous rookie season, as Darryl mentioned, Offensive Rookie of the Year, injured in that wild card game against Seattle. Came back, started the opener in 2013, the coaching change prior to this season. The ankle injury week 2. Cousins started the next 5. Goes 1-4 in Griffin starts this year and replaced today by Colt McCoy.
And you wonder, with the knee injury at the end of the 2012 season, with the ankle injury this year, physically, where is he at right now? And how much football has he had the opportunity to learn, as he's been at the professional level? Because he's always rehabbing. He's always trying to get his body ready to get back on the field. And this is, remember, Robert Griffin III played at Baylor without a playbook. So there was a lot of things that he had to learn at the NFL level. And how much of an opportunity? Where is he at in that developmental stage? And I think that's one of the big reasons that Jay Gruden felt confident going with Colt McCoy today, is he just thinks that there's a lot more from a verbiage standpoint and concepts that he's running that he doesn't quite understand yet.
Second down and 3. Boy's pass is short.
We just talked about quarterbacks for the Colts, Darryl, with Peyton and Andrew Luck. And, the drop-back quarterback is just a guy who's going to be there for a long time. And, nowadays you get all these college quarterbacks, like a Johnny Manziel, like an RG3, who go and extend plays and time with their feet. But over the long haul, how long are they going to last? You know and I know that the longer you're in the NFL, you can't count on your legs anymore. You lose a step, you lose a little bit of speed. The guys who are just going to go and sit in that pocket, makes it easier for the offensive linemen to go and block for them. They know where they're at. They're the guys that are going to have a longer lifespan in the NFL. They're the guys that I think are the guys that really matter. So if you're going to go after a quarterback, they're the guys you want. You want the drop-back quarterback. I think the scrambling quarterback is a fad that this NFL is going through, but there's just not a big, there's not an amount of guys out there in the college levels that really run that anymore. Everyone's running this, the pistol and all these different, offenses where the guy's scrambling around. And I just think that it's hurting this game.
And Goose, another irony, again, going back to the 2012 draft, RG3, Luck, and Richardson, top 3 in Heisman voting, and then top 3 in the draft, with Luck chosen first, and then Griffin second. Russell Wilson finished 9th in Heisman voting that year, and he was the 75th overall pick by Seattle. He's won a Super Bowl.
And here's a guy who's had a heck of an afternoon. Will Jackson, really starting to get comfortable in this defense, and that's just a textbook tackle and hit right there on Alfred Morris. Alfred Morris did move off that spot very easy.
Jackson with that defensive score earlier for the Colts, following the Walden sack. We wind down towards the 2-minute warning here in Indy, where the Colts looking to maintain their 2-game lead on the Texans, with RG3 watching from the sidelines. It's a 22-point lead for Chuck Pagano's Colts with 2 minutes remaining. Five touchdown passes for Andrew Luck. Most points scored by a Colts team since 2004, as they've put up 49 on the Redskins. Colt McCoy's second start of the season, he has set a new career high with 358 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. But the Redskins trail by 22. 3rd down and 8 for Washington. McCoy under pressure. LaRon Landry hits him as he gets rid of it. So McCoy stays away from a 7th sack, and Roy Halou takes it all the way down to the Colts 38, 31 yards on the catch and run.
And we saw Greg Toller earlier in the game. This time it's LaRon Landry, so you've got the same blitz that you're not picking up. And
Colt McCoy took a shot, man.
Yeah, he's taken several shots today.
You got to protect him, man.
We've talked about Andrew Luck, being unflappable. I tell you what, Colt McCoy's pretty unflappable today too. He's been knocked around and just lines back up and keeps playing ball.
Here is Morris. Great job by our entire crew today here in Indianapolis, led by producer Barry Landis, director Brian Lilly, sideline producer Nick Gagliano, associate director Joe Williams, broadcast associate Paul Marmero, technical producer is Sid Krexler, technical director Chris Castro, Dave Corris crunching the numbers, thanks to Ricky Camps and spotter Ben Bowman as well. Here's Morris. Morris down to the 34-yard line as time winds down here in Indianapolis. The Colts will maintain their 2-game lead in the division, go to 8-4 with 4 games remaining, 3 of the 4 on the road. The only home game against the team that is in second place in the AFC South. The now 6-6 following their win today, Houston Texans.
Yeah, the Houston Texans have put up 45 against Tennessee. That Dallas game will be interesting for both teams, especially that time of year, jockeying for position in the playoff picture.
And for the Redskins, they will drop to 3-9, host St. Louis this week, and then face the Giants at the Meadowlands 2 weeks from today. So the Colts, most points since 2004, 5 touchdown passes for Andrew Luck. Redskins lose their 4th straight. Final score here in Indianapolis, the Colts 49 and the Redskins 27. Luck and McCoy get together. What a day for the Colts quarterback. Throws for 370 yards and a career high 5 touchdowns. Darryl, Tony, and I will return to Indianapolis in just a moment.